What's up, everyone? It's NeemaNaz. Welcome to this Stupid Neema podcast. This is episode 8 with a very special guest today. Once again, I met him 6 years ago when I went to Perth, Australia. He became a good friend, and he's smashing it all over Australia and on the cruise ships and all over the world. He's the Australia's Got Talent finalist. I fucked that up. I don't know how to introduce people properly. But anyway, he's here today, and you're going to love it. Please give it up for Emo Majok.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Good to see you again.
I fucked up the intro, but
you meet again.
So yeah, man, you were in Australia's Got Talent, and you got the golden buzzer beater.
Yes, I did, man.
See, this is how I don't know shit about fucking anything. I said golden buzzer beater like it's basketball.
And I just agreed because I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, so yeah, tell me about that, man. How was that?
That was cool, man. Cause I initially didn't even want to do the show. So
why?
Because I spoke to my management and they're like, hey, I don't know, it's really up to you, but it's a bit tacky because comedians never win. And,
that's true.
and I regurgitated that same information to the producer that scouted me.
Yeah. And
he came back and goes, hey, the last one that won British Got Talent was a comedian. And he was black at that as well. Oh, so I was like, all right, cool, giddy up, let's do it. Yeah. All I needed to know was knowing I have a fighting chance. I mean, so yeah.
So wait, how did you get the golden buzzer?
I did my set. I think it was because one, the material I used, but also my improvisation as well.
Oh yeah.
Like I came on stage with a bottle of water, and we had been filming all day, so I was like dehydrated, and then also something with cameras, fucking, it does something to your hydration. My mouth got dry, and I was like, hey, can I get some water? And they weren't getting it. So I was like, just give me a second. I ran off stage, grabbed the bottle of water, and as I'm coming back, I was like, oh man, I must have fucked this up. But then it's like, I just to kind of address it, I was like, sorry, water's hard for black people to find these days. And
that's good.
The whole room just erupted, and and I was like, all right, cool, let's get back to it.
Yeah, and then that's what got you the golden buzzer, like
no, but then the ending and the next lot of material that I used was just like straight fire, you know what I mean?
Okay, sick. How long were you on stage for?
I was on stage for about 5 to 6 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like it's tight 5 to 6 minutes.
Yep, but it they end up just using probably about maybe 2 or 3 minutes of that because they'll chop it up and do the introductions and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
And how many people were in that venue?
About 1,100.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, about 1,100 at the Coliseum. Yeah, it was good, man. But coincidentally enough, that wasn't my biggest crowd anyway. You know what I mean, like my biggest crowd that I ever performed in front of was when I came to Melbourne. The year I didn't meet you in Melbourne. 2018, when they flew me down for Raw Comedy. Yeah, so that was 2000 something.
Right.
People at the Melbourne Town Hall. So that was electric. But that was awesome, man. Like I love big crowds. You know? Like you get like a sense of you get like a buzz from it.
I know. Yeah. It's a pretty great feeling.
Yeah.
I think it was the Raw thing you did was after we met because I came in like beginning of 2018, and I think you did that later that year or something.
Yeah. So 2018. Yeah, I did it months after.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I remember when I went back home, I was like, "Oh, what's this Raw thing you're doing?" And then whatever.
Exactly.
And then you also became a finalist in that one too, right?
Yes, I was the state winner in Western Australia.
Right.
And then I was a finalist
in the whole country.
In the whole country.
That's pretty sick. And then when did you what did you place in the whole?
So they announced a runner-up and the winner. So I wasn't either two of them. So yeah. But I thought I smashed it.
Yeah.
And I remember being on stage and they were like, and the runner-up, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't prepared a speech.
Hey man, you gotta go off your heart.
Yeah. But it was good. It was poetic because I had only done probably 20 gigs or something leading up to that. So I was like fairly green in it. So.
That's nothing.
Exactly, man. So like the fact of the matter, like I think it was good that I didn't win because they would have flown me to Edinburgh, and like I would have like
bombed.
I would have had that imposter syndrome,
Right.
Like feeling. You know what I mean,
Right.
so yeah.
You don't want to start off too hot right away.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Because then you're like, it's a lot of
this,
expectation.
this is Mr. Funny Man, huh? With the crown, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
And then you just go and just tank
Yeah,
the rest of the time.
He's
You're like,
not funny at all.
when you did Australia's Got Talent, were there other comedians on the show too?
Yeah, there was, including one from my city.
Who?
Hayden Tuya. He was funny. But yeah, there was other comedians. Also, Tehran, I think he's a Melbourne-based comedian. He was on there as well. There's quite a few, man. Like there's not too many, but there was quite a few.
But you were the one who got the furthest out of all of them.
Yeah. I made it right into the finals, man. Like I think I placed second in that. They didn't announce a second winner, but like
Snakes.
Yeah. But it was good, man. Yeah.
That's pretty sick. Did you make good connections from that?
Yeah, for sure. To this very day, I still speak to Ricky Lee. Shout out to Ricky Lee, who was the host.
Oh, okay, sick.
And the judge that gave me the golden buzzer, Shane Jacobson. Still chat with him on Instagram and on social media. Like, yeah, I made some lifetime friends.
That's
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And do you think you'd ever like do another show like that?
I would do another show, but possibly not.
The same one.
Yeah. Well, I did get asked to go do America's Got Talent, but it didn't line up with the time frame and the stuff that I was doing at the time.
Right.
So if I was ever to do that, it would have to be after I've spent a year in the States. You know what I mean? Right. Because obviously you got to change your cadence. You sound different to certain audiences. Do you know what I mean? So like to have a rather fighting chance to be able to place, you'd want to adopt some of the skill sets that make you funny.
Right.
Yeah. In that sort of environment.
To adapt to their
exactly.
their kind of sense of humor.
Yeah. Do you know, like whenever you go to like a new place, you got to like climatize. Like, oh, you can say this, you can't say that. The United States is not as united as everyone thinks it is.
Definitely.
One state you can have guns, another one you cannot have any.
That's
you
true.
Know what I mean? So, yeah.
Exactly. Or too much and too many.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like,
what the Raw Comedy Festival? Can you explain to anyone who's watching or listening what that is?
So the Raw Comedy Festival is the Australia's biggest amateur comedy competition. So initially, with all the states, so like I'm from Perth, Western Australia, so we compete against Perth, Western Australia comedians, like amateur comedians, and then Sydney, like New South Wales, would compete, Melbourne, and eventually they'll take one or two winners from that state, and they'll fly you to Melbourne during the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, which coincidentally is happening right now, and they'll put them into a massive big town hall, and they'll all compete, and the winner of that will get flown to Edinburgh, to the world's biggest fringe, where they would compete again.
With the other people across the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is Raw only in Australia?
So the Raw Comedy Competition then trickles down into another form.
Like a different competition.
It might be Raw, but like but then you go to the UK, to Edinburgh, and then you get to go shoot your shot there.
Right.
So yeah.
Did you ever do Edinburgh?
Yeah, I did Edinburgh last year.
How was it?
Yeah, it was sick, man. Like Edinburgh was awesome. Like no, it wasn't last year. 2022. I did. Yeah, it was awesome. My management took me out there. So.
How did you get your management?
So Mick Perring, because I had given myself a certain amount of time, like to figure out comedy. So I gave myself about 4 or 5 years, and I was like, I better be signed or something. You know what I mean? Like otherwise, like what am I just doing this aimlessly for? So. When I thought I was ready, I emailed us. I said, "Hey, I'm looking for a presentation." They're like, "We're surprised you haven't came up on our radar." He said, "Give us about a week. Me and Lucy, who's my talent manager, we'll speak among ourselves. Within 3 days, they're like, "Yep, we'd love to sign you." So just like that, I was signed. And 7 months later, they took me to Edinburgh. Did my first ever Edinburgh Fringe, which was awesome, man. So, yeah.
And you were doing your own run or just doing other people's shows too?
No, I did shows every night apart from August 15th, if I remember correctly. So every single night I was performing apart from August 15th. For some reason, August 15th is like the day everyone takes a day off during Fringe. Well, most managed artists, like they give you one day off, and it's like August 15th or was it 16th? So like every single night I was doing my show plus other shows as well, and the shows start for as early as like midday.
Oh right, yeah, I've heard.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Yeah, and then like the latest one will be like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. You know
it's pretty much 24 hours.
Yeah, man. Like it was nuts, man. Like some days I'd finish doing a show that ends at 2, and go back to the crib, cook up some wings. Oh, bro,
Cook up some wings.
Yeah. Oh man, like, we had wings every other night because.
Is wings just a hot commodity in Scotland?
I hate bringing this up, but Edinburgh's got like the worst food, bro. The worst food. So
why?
I don't know, man. Because like they've just, like, I don't know. Like I feel like I sound like I'm shitting on it at this point. But
no, it's just being honest.
Yeah,
just being real.
The food was terrible, man. So we found a butcher that used to marinate our
your wings,
like wings and stuff.
Oh, okay.
We'd get like nice beef from him.
Ooh.
So all day long we're eating shit food, and then at nighttime we had that to look forward to. You know what I mean?
Wait, why were you eating shit all throughout the day, and then at night you would
the food
cook
was
your own
tasteless,
shit?
bro. Like I'm talking, the food was tasteless, man. Like so we're eating whatever they're giving us out on the block. Yeah, bro.
Feels like back home, my third world country.
We get in where
whatever
we
you
fit
get.
Getting where you fit in outside there, and then when you get back home, you're like, oh,
Thank God.
Finally something I can trust.
What was some of the food that was tasteless? I'm curious because we're trying to go there in sometime this year. So
everything.
Like
so,
what? Like
I'm talking about like the salad. You had to redress it yourself.
What?
Yeah, man. The curry was
even the curry.
Yeah, they've managed to convince the Indians to tone down fucking flavors.
Way.
Yeah, bro.
Is it because the Scottish people can't handle the heat?
Yeah, it's just their palate, man. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Even Nando's didn't taste like Nando's.
See, that's what I felt that coming here, bro.
Oh, for real? Like,
yeah.
I thought Melbourne has got like top-notch food, man.
And one of the worst Nando's experience I've ever had was here.
Oh, you mean like Nando's?
Nando's here.
Okay.
In Melbourne.
But food in Melbourne is like incredible.
Yeah. Food in Melbourne generally is great. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's like Toronto because like Toronto is amazing for food.
What Melbourne is the closest description to Toronto.
Yeah, I know.
For me.
That's why we feel so at home here in Melbourne because, well, people are listening or watching this, they pronounce it Melbourne because it's the Aussie way to say Melbourne.
Yeah. Plus it's our word, so we can pronounce however we like.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, then too fucking bad. All right? But yeah, so that's why I feel the most at home here in Melbourne compared to like, well, we haven't been to Sydney, so
even right down to the noise. Like,
it's just
I
like
feel like I'm on Queen Street right now.
Yeah,
I mean, like it's
exactly,
like,
right?
Like just trams in the background,
That's
like
it.
and here, like just construction.
I know, right?
Like,
yeah.
It
was good though because I'm sure you actually enjoyed Toronto when you went too because of all the culture and diversity, right? And
100%, man.
There's Sudanese people everywhere. There's Africans. There's fucking Asians. There's Arabs.
I loved it because every single race was there.
Yeah.
So if you wanted Tibetan food,
right, random,
you could find Tibetan food, bro.
Yeah.
Like you wanted Afghani food, sure enough, you can find Afghani
all over.
food. Like fucking Jamaican food, you could like if you could think it, you could find it in Toronto, and like Melbourne's kind of like
similar.
that. Yeah, it's very similar like that in a smaller scale, obviously.
Yeah.
But like not enough of the hot dogs.
Hot dog stands.
Hot dog stands,
No, they don't have that shit here at all.
Yeah, I know. Like that's what we're lacking in.
Yeah, you're lacking street food here.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think they would crush street. But in a way, the difference between Melbourne and Toronto is that here, at least, they actually give off more of a street food vibe.
Yeah.
Just of on the street itself, like where the restaurant actually is, and like they serve food right at the window.
Oh, for
but
sure.
they don't really do that in Toronto.
And a massive Chinatown here as well.
Oh,
like,
massive. Yeah.
So like
they're Asian. Yeah.
Bro, second to none. Like, you can find a Wagyu joint just anywhere here.
A what?
Wagyu.
Oh, Wagyu. Yeah.
You can find a Wagyu joint anywhere here, where you'd have to go hunt for it in most places.
Yeah.
And it'll be like overpriced. Like Melbourne is like quite cheap when it comes when it comes to that. Like, I saw this the other day actually. I saw 4 Wagyu joints side by side. I saw 5 hot pot joints all side by side.
Right beside each
Yeah,
other.
right beside each other. Like the selection is just all there, man. Like,
And then a rub and tug, just
Just-
right in the middle.
Just bang in the middle, bro.
Have some chicken pate and then go get rubbed off right after.
Don't go in there hungry.
It's so convenient. It's actually done by the same people.
Yeah. Oh man, like if you don't want to be seen, you can go through the back door.
And if you really want, you can get rubbed off and they'll serve you chicken pate at the same time.
They call it the deluxe. The deluxe
Yeah,
option.
it's just the most vague option at the bottom. Deluxe dish.
I'll
And
get
they're
the
like,
number 3.
gluten-free, vegan friendly. Yeah, no, exactly.
And they got a Greek district here as well.
Yeah, so that's the other thing too. I learned is in Melbourne,
Greece.
outside Greece, the highest population of Greeks,
Yeah, exactly.
which is pretty interesting.
So-
Because I thought we had a lot of Greeks in Toronto, which there are.
Yeah.
It's a whole Greek town. It's massive.
Yeah, but outside of Greek, so certain cities have this. I don't know if you've noticed that. Certain cities have this. Like, say for example, outside of Lebanon, the most Lebanese you'll find are in
Sydney.
No, it's not Sydney.
It's not?
It's in Brazil, and same with Japanese too.
What?
So
In Brazil?
Yeah, it's same with the Japanese. Who would have thought outside of Japan, the most you'd find of the Japanese is within Brazil.
What?
As well. Yeah. Like Brazil.
Why? It's so random.
I don't know.
They're like, we want danger. Let's go to fucking.
Yeah, there's a lot of Lebanese and Japanese in Brazil. That's where Lapa comes from.
Who?
So Lapa.
Who's Lapa?
No, not Lapa. What you call it? Nobu.
Nobu. Oh, like the restaurant.
Yeah. So that's a fusion of Japanese and
Lebanese?
no, Japanese
Brazilian.
and Brazilian cuisine.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. So it's the two mixed together.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I had no idea. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
Wait,
Nobu.
but Lebanese people don't speak Portuguese at all, and Japanese don't. So how
You're
the
gonna have
fuck
to
is that
look-
working?
You're gonna have to look this up. I don't know why they're there. Like maybe they know
This
some.
whole episode is going to be about why Japanese and Lebanese people are in Brazil and
Yeah.
why Nobu is a thing.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, yeah.
That's
Like,
interesting.
Every different nationality's got it. Like so like Melbourne, there's a lot of Sudanese.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like there are Sudanese people in Toronto,
Yeah.
but I never see Sudanese restaurants. There's some here.
Yeah, you can find some here. Yeah.
What's
But,
Sudanese cuisine?
there's like a lot of okra. Just a lot of finger food. Yeah. Did you find it?
Yeah, it says here Japanese Brazilians are the largest ethnic Japanese community outside Japan, numbering about 2 million people.
What?
Compared to about 1.5 million in the United States, Sao Paulo contains the largest concentration of Japanese outside of Japan.
What?
Yeah. Using the word concentration. What about, well, why the Lebanese though?
Lebanese.
The Lebos.
The Lebos.
Lebo kind.
Lebos. That makes them sound sweet. Those just make them sound sweeter.
Holy fuck. Yeah, he's right. The largest concentration of Lebanese outside the Middle East is in Brazil.
I told you, fool.
Yeah, which has, according to some sources, at least 6 million Brazilians of Lebanese ancestry, making Brazil's population of Lebanese more than twice that of the entire population of Lebanon.
What?
Yeah. And then the last one. And the last one is South Africans. Australia is where the most
South Africans
South
are?
Africans, yeah. So I think it tops at like
What the
250,000 or something. Yeah, like every country for some reason, like someone might go there, like it, open up a South African restaurant.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden now, hey, this is kind of nice. So people start flocking to it. You know what I
So
mean?
South African diaspora, like concentration, actually just got like UK just passed Australia. in the amount.
Wow.
We just lost to the.
You lost
Yeah.
to the UK.
To the
the
Kings.
originators.
Yeah, exactly. So we win still. You win, we win.
Yeah, it says that the UK has estimated over 220,000 and Australia is at like 210,000.
Wow.
So they just surpassed Australia.
Yeah,
Interesting.
just by a little
Like,
bit,
It's
yeah.
probably like yesterday.
There's one ship just
Yeah.
crossed the UK and they're like, sorry guys,
It's safe to come back.
this is blasting my mind, man. Shit. That's crazy. What was your experience in Toronto? Because I know you've been there a couple times now.
I loved it, man. Like because I did my fringe over there as well, the Fringe Festival.
Right, you did your own solo show, which is
No, I did it through my own solo show through the Fringe Festival.
African Aussie.
Yeah, African Aussie.
Yeah, this is the one you did in Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was received very well. So
Sick.
like I sold out my whole entire run.
Where'd you do the shows?
Damn.
Was it a comedy club or just like a independent?
Nah, like so they get independent.
Oh yeah.
Theaters, and then they just set up the rooms. And
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. Oh, the Tron.
The Tron. I've never heard of that.
The Tron.
But anyway, it was good though. Like how many
Yeah, it
shows
was great.
did you do?
It was great, man. I did 8, and then they gave me patrons pick. So I got no, I did 7, and then I got patrons pick. So they gave me an 8th.
Oh, nice.
Show.
That's
So
sick.
yeah, which we also sold out within like 6 hours or something. So,
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, so it's good. So I'm going back out there again this year.
Nice. What's your favorite thing about performing in Canada?
Readjusting.
Your material or just like
Not just like readjusting it just in general with the material. Like I like that formula when you're challenged to kind of restart again.
Right.
Because it just sharpens your skills a little bit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So I always love going back and kind of starting from like scratch per se. Because like when you come back to your hometown, like all of a sudden you sound like yourself, and like those are the people that's your crowd. But then if you can throw yourself out into like the wilderness and be able to adjust to the point where you're doing the club shows with what you consider the best in the country, like there's a great feeling in that.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're excelling.
Yeah, that's why I always tell other comedians it's good to travel the world and get out there.
You never waste money traveling, man.
No, that's true. Facts.
You never waste money traveling.
That's facts. I mean, you waste a little bit, but
but that's priceless spending. Yeah, priceless spending.
Yeah, there's a little bit of wasting money, but no, but it's all for the good purpose.
That's like saying I wasted money going to university.
Right.
Like,
it's like
you gain some knowledge out of it.
Yeah.
You might have not used it for
sure. Dumb shit.
To excel yourself, but like that, you take that away with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I always push for comedians to do that, because that's why I feel like I disassociated myself from like the comedy community even back home earlier on than most people, because I just felt like there's so much more out there.
Oh, 100%.
And even for me in Canada, within Canada, I was like, let me at least leave the city and go around different states, because it is different in other states too.
Yeah, man.
Other provinces, right?
For sure, man. Like even going out to the States myself, there's a difference between San Francisco and LA.
Oh, it's a huge difference.
And they're only an hour and a half away from each other. You know what I mean? Like if you don't drive during the LA traffic, you can get from LA to San Diego within an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. But you're somewhere else now.
It's totally different. Especially in America, it's like that.
It's totally different, man. Like they got trams out there, like there's walruses and shit.
Did you see walruses?
Yeah, they're like sea lions.
Oh yeah. In the by the coast.
Yeah. They're mad aggressive too.
Yeah, they also got crazy crackheads too. They'll do. Yeah. They're just as aggressive.
Yeah.
Straight out of Alcatraz. Here we have walruses and crackheads coming out of the water.
And then that's another thing. Like you can go up 4 hours. Up to San Fran, which is totally different. Like Oakland.
Oakland, that place is the hood, bro.
I was there for a night.
Really?
Yeah, I was there for a night.
Were you scared?
Well, we weren't scared per se. So we drove from LA, and we were like, hey, let's go out. Let's stay in Oakland for a night. So we booked an Airbnb, a hotel there.
Who are you with?
My boy Bedder. He's
Bedder?
He's Kuwaiti. He's back in Kuwait.
Oh,
now.
Kuwait. Oh, he's a comic too.
No, he's not.
Oh,
comic.
okay.
He was just a uni student that was in LA with my boy Faris, and we decided to go to San Fran because Faris was gonna be studying for his exams. So we were supposed to get to Oakland a little bit earlier, but we ended up getting there like super late. So we asked the hotel people like, "Hey, where's there to go around here?" And they're like, your best bet is to go over the bridge and go to San Francisco. they weren't even trying to let us, they weren't even trying to mislead us that this is the right place for you to be going out. You know what I mean? They said just go out there and then come back tomorrow. We're going to San Fran tomorrow. They said just wait off then.
Wow, they knew. They're like,
they knew that. Like we'll be food.
Everyone says that. Everyone says that.
We'll be food, bro.
Yeah, you'd be
like
food,
unless you know how to like move. In those type of environments, it's just not where you want to break your pop your cherry.
Yeah. Did you feel more at home in Canada and in America because you're the skin color?
Yeah.
Because there's no black people here.
No.
That's what I've noticed heavily just being here a little bit longer.
You got to search for them here.
You got to search for them. The most Yeah, we found them all. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like a Pokemon, bro. Yeah.
The past few podcast episodes, that's all of Australia black people, guys. If you're watching this, that's the
Gotta catch
entire
'em all.
population.
Neema out here collecting.
I'm the real Pokemon, bitch.
Ash catch him right here.
Oh, I catch Ash, all right.
I choose you. I was with Ash last night, actually. Shout out to Ash.
Shout out Ash, bro.
Yeah, so we're on the same lineup last night at the Comics Lounge. We stayed back until we closed the place down, actually, and Ash went back home. He said that he messaged you trying to catch up.
Well, when?
I think yesterday.
Ash did?
Yeah.
That's a fucking lie.
He said he didn't respond.
No, that's bullshit.
That
He's
sounds like
capping. Straight cap. That guy's talking shit. But yeah, no, it's interesting even for me being here because I'm like, I'm used to more black people in Toronto.
Yeah.
Right? Like Jamaicans, the Guyanese people, Trinidad,
man.
right? Over here, even more bare Africans, so Nigerians and Ghanaian people back home in Toronto. I come here, bro. It's just white and Asian, bro.
I went to that
and Lebo, fucking Lebo.
Fucking Lebo, right? I went to that area, Scarborough.
In Toronto, Scarborough? That's where most of the
so I went out there. And we had
yeah, we were both born there.
Oh, for real?
I mean, well, he was born in Iran, but we all lived there. We grew in Scarborough.
Oh shit, I had no idea.
Yeah,
the
hood.
That wasn't the nationality that I saw there.
Huh?
That wasn't the ethnicities that I saw there.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, they all moved out to the Richmond Hill area, a little bit more north, where all the fucking cologne stores and the nut stores are.
They moved up, and the next level of poverty came in.
That's where all the shisha is. That's where all my
immigrants come to first to get their big break.
Exactly.
It's like we left Iran to get for a better life, and we've come to Scarborough.
Legit, bro.
That's when the true Toronto people can be like, God damn, they lived a very tough life. If this is where they've come for change.
It's just as tough, but just more black people.
I loved it out there, man. Like, I loved it out there.
Yeah.
Because my girl was in that film, Scarborough.
There's a film called Scarborough?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there was, yeah. It was like a super low budget, but it ended up getting like a bunch of awards and stuff.
Oh, sick.
And
it was like an indie.
Yeah, it was Indian, but then it made it to Canadian Airlines. So
nice.
So they're playing it on
Air Canada,
Air Canada, yeah.
True.
Yeah, to the point where she was getting recognized.
That's proper.
So she wore a hijab for the
role?
For the role.
Oh.
And we went to Nando's one time while we were in Toronto.
Fucking Nando's.
Heads out, everything. And this girl was, I'm sorry, are you Miss Hina? Like, imagine, like during COVID, the same thing happened. I had a mask on, and someone recognized me.
That's sick.
Which was rather concerning because if you can't get away with that with a mask,
you don't.
Like, bank robbers are gonna get caught from now on.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The jig is up. Yeah.
So you're in Scarborough, and like, did you eat any like Jamaican food or? Like,
yeah. No, so we got I think it was she went and got us some Jamaican patties, but we went ate from this I think it was Nigerian or it was West African for sure. But that was fucking sweet, man. Like, I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Right, because you don't get that shit here.
I gotta look for it.
Right, or like if your family or friends are like you, like this is the only way.
So if you look for African food, you gotta go out to Footscray, Flemington, Ascoville.
That's where they are in Melbourne.
Yeah, or that's where they keep
their
them.
community.
That's
where they keep them. Yeah. They're locked away just in that section.
We don't mind that you're here. Just stop making noise, okay?
Stop making noise.
You be quiet. We won't come here.
Stop making noise. Just picture them like, oh, hey. Just walking around yelling. Did you? You've been back to Sudan?
Yeah, I've been back. A couple
Are you from
times.
South Sudan or?
I'm from South Sudan.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first time I went back was back in 2018. My parents took me back. This African mums and dads, they take their kids back every now and then, especially when they're fucking up. Am I allowed to curse, by the way? Yeah. Like, so whenever, like, when you're fucking up and you get in your young adult years, they'll literally Air Force you back for a couple months.
What?
Yeah, they're like, hey, You need to go back and reset. You know what I mean?
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I ended up getting stuck there for 3 months because a little miniature war broke out
Jesus Christ.
where the roads weren't safe enough to leave.
That's wrong.
So for the first time, I was supposed to go meet my grandfather, like for the first time in my life. But because we were stuck in Sudan, South Sudan, we couldn't make it into Kenya because Kenya also had the elections, which created some conflict between them as well.
Because they're beside each other?
Yeah. Two tribes, two rival tribes were going head to head for the presidency. So, yeah, so like they'll putting bombs on like travel buses and shit.
Holy.
Yeah, it was full on.
Like
bro.
regular citizens are
man, man, it was crazy, man. Like,
whoa,
Kenya don't play, bro. So I was stuck in Sudan for an additional period of time because of that, and because I couldn't go to Kenya to go see my grandfather for the first time, where we were stuck because the rival tribes that were having issues with another rival tribe were shooting transport buses and stuff, so like the roads weren't safe enough to leave.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a whole thing, bro.
Did you see this happen?
I was like, I learned my lesson.
Thank you, mom and dad, but please let me go back.
Yeah, so I went back then, and then the next time I went back was 2016. I was a little bit older. I could appreciate a little bit more as well. Went back with my brother and my mother because they had started a business back there. So yeah.
What business?
Transport. There were chopping down trees in the Congo jungles and then selling some mahogany timber.
Mahogany timber?
Mahogany
That's
timber.
the name of the tree?
Yeah. So it's like the world's most expensive or the strongest piece of wood.
Oh, really? They were transporting that
so
as their business.
So we had the license to chop and harvest it in Congo because Sudan and Congo
beside each other?
Yeah. So you can just literally drive in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's no beef between Congo and Sudan?
No, we're sweet, man. We're in to just fight each other.
The what?
We're in to fight each other.
Oh, yeah.
we're cool with everyone else.
You're cool with everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kenya doesn't fuck with you.
Kenya actually took us in. So we were refugees in Kenya.
Well, you were refugees in Kenya?
Yeah.
Your family?
So my family fled from Sudan, right?
Yeah.
Long before I was born. And my mom gave birth to me in a refugee camp in Ethiopia.
Oh, bro, are you fucking born everywhere?
Yes, I was born in Ethiopia.
Like Joe White?
Yeah, he was born in Sudan.
What?
Yeah, it was like
we had no idea about
it was like
this.
a minority exchange program.
Oh,
right? So during like different conflicts, like
that's why you guys are best friends.
We jump borders, you know what I mean? So my mom gave birth to me in a refugee camp in Ethiopia.
Wow.
But then a miniature war broke out, and we fled from Ethiopia to Kenya, where we eventually got sponsored and brought over to Australia.
Wow, you actually got sponsored.
Yeah, we got sponsored.
That shit's real.
Yeah. Like,
so the UNICEF
shout
actually
out to Madonna.
works.
Thank you, Madonna.
Madonna.
She came and shopped and found what she liked.
Damn, that's a pretty good story. Like a little origin story for you guys.
Yeah, well, like it was like when you're young, you had like a sense of shame. Like you don't let people know that kind of stuff. But
shame for what?
It's just like you don't want to be that well-visioned kid, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got to embrace that shit.
Yeah, well, when you get older, you're like, hey, I have a story to tell.
Yeah. Put me on Australia's Got Talent or I'm going to fight. That's interesting. And then, so wait, what language did you grow up speaking then?
Dinka.
Dinka?
Yeah, Dinka is like
what?
It's the national language, one of the national languages for South Sudanese. But our country has over like
a bunch.
Yeah, like well over 20 something
languages in just South Sudan.
Yeah.
And then there's South Sudan, and then there's regular Sudan. Like it's just.
Well, that's the funny thing. So it used to be just Sudan as a whole, right?
Yeah.
So like just to give you a bit of background.
Yeah.
So the British has occupied us for a very long time. So the British occupied what was modern day Sudan, and the name Sudan was actually named by the North Africans. You know, like
Morocco.
What we consider Arabs.
Yeah.
So Sud meaning black, and Dan meaning land. So land of the blacks.
Oh.
So they named it that, and then when we couldn't get rid of the British, they helped us get rid of the British, and then all of a sudden the place was nice enough for both of us. They stayed.
Yeah. My Habibis, you're allowed to stay.
Cool shit, niggas. We're just gonna sit here for a little while.
That's why. That's why Egyptians and Tunisians and Algerians, like you guys fuck with each other.
Yeah.
Heavy?
So there's a lot. You can find a lot of Sudanese in Egypt.
Right. There's tons. They're all over.
Some say that we were the original
Africans,
Egyptians.
Oh, you guys were,
because the Egyptians were Nubians.
Yeah.
And we're part of the Nubian tribe. Like we're the Nubians, original Nubians.
Oh.
So if you type in like Nubians, like even if you look at some of the like the pyramid sculptures, like the facial descriptions and stuff, like
Sudanese.
There's a black features. Even like the hair was like hair like wool. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's your family on the wall.
There's arguably like there's an argument about who the original
of course
Nubians are.
It says here Nubians are a Nilo-Saharan
That's us.
ethnic group indigenous to the region, which is now northern Sudan and southern Egypt. They originate from the early inhabitants of the central Nile Valley, believed to be one of the earliest cradles of civilization.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you. You heard it from the voice.
Thanks, Jigsaw. That's interesting, man.
Yeah. So, like, even if you look at some of the like Egyptian, like the sculptures of what was on the faces of the pyramid faces, those are black features.
Yeah.
Like the hair, like Afro hair.
Yeah.
Like you can only have Afro hair.
Yeah.
From Afro, like
DNA.
I mean.
Yeah.
So why else would you put that on a pyramid?
Right.
If it wasn't
them.
Yeah, I mean. But we also don't know how the pyramids were made. So like that's
no one fucking knows.
That information is like lost. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like how you manage.
It's conspiracy, bro.
Yeah, I mean. So that history.
It was just some mom who's like just working hard. So you pussies, I'm gonna do
some of the Australian meth addicts just fucking. Let's get it.
Yeah, mate, no worries. Yeah, I mean it's really interesting because he has fucking curly hair, right? Little afro like hair.
Yeah,
My dad even had an afro when he was younger. Like a legit afro, like a massive afro. I'm like, is everybody fucking stemming from this? Like,
that could also be from the Africa and the Middle East.
Yeah, there's a lot
before the Suez Canal divided it.
Yeah,
like they just used to walk across.
I know.
You know what I mean? And then there was also the Middle Eastern slave trade as well,
right?
Which brought a lot of African tourists. Into the Middle East.
They're just walking around taking pictures. Oh wow, I love this place.
But captive tourists.
Captive tourists.
Yeah. Hey, you can stay at our house, but you have to work.
You can use this camera, but to film yourself working.
You're not here on holiday. I don't like this job. You're still here.
Yeah, it's interesting because there are even now there's a whole region of black people, like Africans in Iran, even.
Oh, for sure.
In south of Iran,
everywhere.
It's called Bandar Abbas.
Yeah, man.
And they're like literally some of our friends. Like I have a friend named Alex. Like is one of the guys I know, but like he's. Like his family is like he's from there.
Yeah, man.
And it's like I didn't even know this until like past few years.
There's even black Palestinians, man.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, there's black Palestinians.
Yeah.
There's an area called the slave area in Palestine, which is where the black people stay. There's black Palestinians. Like
it's a trip,
we're
man.
talking about blacks. There's black Filipinos, dude.
Oh, I know.
There's black Filipinos. I'm not saying, that person could pass as
right.
No, like black Filipinos, like with afro hair.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about the wide nose,
right.
fucking lips.
Yeah, big lips.
Yeah, like you could mistaken them for like different parts of Africa.
Right.
I mean, like,
but they're short as shit because they're Filipino.
Yeah. I got a friend. Her name's Jem. She's Filipino, but she got like black features too.
What the fuck is that?
Someone's at your door.
Is this the beginning of a Saw movie?
There's a guy wearing a green shirt.
This place haunted?
I heard you got a party going on, guys.
Yeah.
I'm a stripper.
Yeah. We saw a unknown black person walk into your unit. We just want to know if you guys
are okay.
Are you guys okay?
We heard some sounds.
Yeah. Have you ever been to other countries in Africa since coming out of your own country?
So I've been to South Africa. I went to South Africa last year.
Nice.
I went to the Johannesburg International Comedy Festival. So
sick.
that was cool.
How was that festival?
That was beautiful, man. Like, because the first ever layover we had when we got sponsored and brought to Australia was in South Africa. So it was like a full 360 going back to Africa for comedy this time instead of being moved around because of conflict.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like it was beautiful. Like got to go where Nelson Mandela lived.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Soweto.
Interesting history, yeah.
I got to see a lot of the historic landmarks and stuff like that. So it was beautiful. But there was a lot of stuff we weren't also allowed to go out and do as well.
You weren't allowed to go and do? Like what?
Like certain areas.
Oh, because it's super dangerous there, apparently, right?
Yeah. It's like Johannesburg is like the
savage.
Murder capital of the world.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
The murder and rape capital of the world.
That's crazy. That's two for
That's
two.
some titles to have.
Damn. Shit. They're hogging it. They're hogging the titles, bro.
Let's go for a third, man.
Yo, what's the 3P, bro?
Does that, so when you think like the city, right?
Yeah.
Like you would think corporate, like this is where all the tall buildings are. This must be the safest place. Like the city is where it all goes down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. Like,
did you get a vibe when you were there? So did you feel unsafe?
No, because we always.
Oh, you were in the safer areas.
We had a driver in some cases, and then also the festival producers.
Oh, it's like the locals.
They would pick us up and take us to where it was we wanted to go.
Oh, so you're just going from like point A to B. You're not getting getting off to take a piss.
But like for like day adventures and stuff,
right?
We could ask them, hey, we want to go see this, and they'll take us. And then sometimes they'll just be like, no, you don't want to go there.
Right.
know? So yeah.
Interesting. Like, did you hear or see of any like crimes or violence happening over there? So while you were there,
this is when we knew that it was that this was serious, right? We went to Soweto. The driver Soweto. That's where Nelson Mandela and Trevor Noah grew up.
Oh, okay.
Soweto. Yeah. So we went to Soweto, to Nelson Mandela's house, and we wanted to go buy some cigarettes. So we're like, hey, we're just gonna go buy some cigarettes, and like to the driver was talking to some of the locals, and we just started walking, literally like it's across the street, like across the street to the left a little bit. The driver comes running. We're talking about like a 60-something-year-old man running, bro. Please don't ever get out of my sight. I'll lose my job. He goes, you could get robbed in front of everyone, and no one will say anything. So like we knew that it was serious then because he came running, huffing and puffing.
Oh my God!
And we knew that, like this poor guy.
Can't be.
Look, he's about to have a heart attack.
Can't make his heart race that fast.
Bro, so,
get in the fucking vehicle.
Yeah, man. We're like, but it's literally across the street. He goes, you could get robbed right in front of people.
Wow.
With a gun, and no one will ever they'll just do it smoothly, man.
Wow.
Like they'll just be like, hey, give me your wallet now or else. You know what I mean? And like,
oh shit.
Yeah, it was like South Africa real, bro. Like that.
They don't fuck around.
There's clips on YouTube.
I know.
Of them having shootouts, man.
That's crazy.
They've brought over the American culture of handguns and like machine guns and shit.
Bro, and like machetes and shit. Like
now machetes is fucking child play. They have shootouts, bro.
Shootouts?
Shootouts.
What do you mean
man.
shootout? Like legit
like straight gas station. Like
was this COD?
Like just it might as well be. Might as well
COD,
be.
South Africa.
They have proper shootouts,
game.
man. But it's in the it's in the colored and black areas. You know what I mean?
The colored and blacks area?
Yeah.
Oh, not in the white areas.
The white areas they get patrolled by cops. Like
wait, why the white areas?
Because they've got security to pay for. You know what I mean? Like so.
Oh, so you're saying the white people are more like
the areas are well looked after. You know what I mean?
Oh, is it? Wait, why is that?
Because the cops can't really do anything in the black areas.
Because it's too much violence?
Yeah.
Or it's just a...
Well, like if you come in, unless you're bringing the army in there.
Oh, wow.
Like what are you going to do, you and your partner? like you're coming with me. No, I'm not. You know what I mean?
No, the fuck I'm not.
Like the moment you lose that, you know what I mean? Like we were in the car one day and the cops were like, oh, these tags are expired. And my boy who was driving is like, oh, well, how do we solve this problem, my brother? They're like, just make sure you get they'll just send you on your way because they don't want to do more work and put their lives in danger over something. You know what I mean? Like, because since COVID, like, you can pretty much just like, okay, I'll sort it out next time. You know what I mean?
It's okay. We're good, guys.
Yeah, it's all right, brother. Like, all right, well,
do what you need to do.
I'm sure your license plates are expired too.
Carry on, my brother.
I have a police car to drive. Okay.
Oh wow.
We went to Durban.
Durban, yeah, that's where
There's another fun fact.
Indians.
So outside of India,
Yeah.
the biggest population of Indians is found in Durban, South Africa.
That's that's crazy to know, considering how many Indian people are in Canada.
Yeah, that is, bro. Like the biggest population,
Yeah.
it's found in Durban,
That's wild.
and you can see it straight away. Like while you're in the shopping areas, like it's in their food.
Yeah.
It's in the influence. It's in the their gestures and speech. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like it's heavily influenced.
That's so
by
fun.
India, yeah.
Interesting, man. I had no idea.
So there's colored Indian South Africans and there's different, like, so a lot of people are mixed because of
Right.
apartheid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I'm searching for like a specific subset of like, because like India has so many provinces and whatever. But I just typed in like largest diaspora of Indians in the world. Right now, it actually shows U.S. as the highest.
That makes sense.
Must have just changed yesterday.
There was that was another ship that just they just
It's
passed.
safe to come back again.
I mean, it says U.S. has just under 5 million.
Yeah.
UAE,
Guess what?
interestingly, has
Canada.
3.5 million. Yeah.
Canada's got 4 now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm searching for the right thing, but it says Canada is at 1.3 million.
I thought it was
No
4.
way. It's
It's-
way
it's-
more than that.
no, I read the other day. It has
I believe
4,
you, yeah.
4 million.
Yeah, I think 1.3 is like just in Brampton alone.
That's the airport arrivals. But yes,
That's
for
just
yesterday.
TSA security in the airport is 1.3 million.
Because at one
But
point,
South Africa
India
is
was
high up
boycotting Canada, wasn't it?
The what?
At one point, India and Canada had a little bit of beef.
Oh well, because Justin Trudeau closed off the borders.
Yeah, and because of the death of someone.
Because of like some death in like the Punjabi community or something like that, the Sikh
yeah.
community, and then like there was just beef between the like I don't know which kind of Indians, but there was like the Sikhs and then the non-Sikhs, and then like I don't know, it was just like it was like a threat or something like that. So then you close off the borders for people going into India, because obviously you
I
made
think
a shitty decision.
I think like a diplomat was like murdered in like Surrey,
Yeah,
BC or something like that. Yeah.
Rishi Sunak or something. Why does that name?
I don't remember who it is,
No,
but-
that's a British Prime Minister, I think.
British Prime Minister getting murdered and
The
India
British
gets
Prime Minister is
pissed.
Indian.
Wait, what?
They must hate it so much.
The British Prime Minister is Indian right now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Rishi Sunak.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Yeah,
that's how you pronounce
and
it.
you know the Brits.
Say a word. They hate
Brits,
that shit.
Yeah, the Brits, they didn't even want Meg. You know what I mean?
No.
So
Like,
imagine,
who's this fucking Nando's guy running our country, innit?
they didn't even want Meg in the family. You know what I mean? So imagine,
I know, imagine a
now the
brown
Prime
guy.
Minister is,
First we got Meg, then we got fucking Rishi, these fucking Nando's twats.
they must have been
How
so
dare
hot.
they?
They must have been so hot, bro. Like, I swear to God, what I would have done to be a fly on the wall when that election happened.
Next thing you know, chief of police is fucking you, and then they're like, my God, more colored people
Because they're
running
the-
our country.
Whether they want to admit it or not, they're the minority now.
Who, the Brits? The white Brits?
Yeah, well, the people like they are more outsiders than the.
That's
fucking-
facts.
You know what I
Especially
mean?
Indians there too.
Yeah, man.
There's
So, like,
plenty. There's bare Indians in there.
Yeah, man. Like,
That's a good place to find a great curry.
London
my God.
food is impeccable.
Oh my
bro.
God. And
It
it's
really is good.
I stayed in Paddington, and it was right next
Like
to
the bear?
There's an area called Paddington in London. And it was so close to the Middle Eastern district. Oh, bro! Like
All the
you,
shawarma.
you think it, you can find it.
the fuck was that?
This house haunted, bro.
I swear this has never happened. All these noises I'm hearing from the elevator.
Yeah, it's as soon as I walked into this building,
Yeah, literally, bro. They're giving like warning signals.
cybersecurity's gonna be calling soon. Hey, we see we see two hot, three body types in your apartment, but there's normally two. One's black, I think.
He's too tall for our liking.
It's distress signal to our alarm systems.
Our Aussies are complaining about too much color in one unit.
When Neema, when we agreed to have you in this,
We did not expect this much diversity.
We told you to keep them in Footscray.
Yeah, where they belong. Where did you? Because when did you come to Australia from Sudan?
1996. It wasn't from Sudan. It was
Or
from Kenya.
Kenya, yeah.
From Kenya, yeah.
Yeah.
Not glamorous Kenya. It was
Glamorous Kenya.
Kakuma.
Kakuma.
Yeah, like the Kakuma.
Kakuma.
That was like the Turkana region, which is like the Kenya Maasais. You know, like the jumping up and down people.
Oh, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
I mean,
like
I don't really
the
know.
Maasais.
Maasais?
Yeah.
Oh, Maasai. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maasai. Yeah.
Kind of like them. Like they kind of look like the Maasais. Like they're like the bush people.
Oh, so they're like super like African tribe.
Like Kenya kind of like pushes them to the side a little bit. Like they get treated like the indigenous type of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Africa?
Yeah.
They're the indigenous people of Africa.
Pretty much like of Kenya.
Bro, all the people who like talk about like carnivore diet, they
Yeah.
always reference the Maasai people.
Yeah.
Because
bro.
they live like
Yeah, they're drinking blood and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
like-
that's
yeah, they find like all this raw honey and like eat
liver,
Yeah, bro.
organs.
Yeah, super friendly people. But
But they'll eat your ass.
the Kenyans created a problem for us by putting us in their region, because essentially they're like, hey, we'll take in refugees, but let's put them into the Maasai area. They'd rather them in their Maasai area instead of in their area, because it's like they're the forgotten.
They're the forgotten tribe. Like
Yeah, I mean,
people.
like,
Yeah.
so like kind of like what the British did with
Right.
Israel. Like, hey, let's just give them Palestine, and then they just hit the road.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They just moved on quick from that.
Yeah. Like,
So you went from Kenya to Australia in 1996,
yeah, 1996. Yeah.
and then you've been here pretty much since then.
Since then, but I'm quite the traveler. So
Right, but you've gone back to get humbled from your family.
Yeah.
Every few years.
Plus, when I got my first ever paying job where I acquired not wealth, like where I could actually save, and like
Yeah.
I had freedom of movement. Like I'll take annual leave like once a year, and I would go to a different country.
Really?
So I've been through Asia, went to fucking the UK long before I started comedy, America. Like
Wow.
I love traveling.
Yeah.
Like so now I get to do it with my job now.
How good is that?
Oh, dude, like crack the code, man.
Especially doing comedy. It's like you're
Yeah,
made
man.
to travel.
So now they fly me there.
Yeah.
So because when I do cruise ships, like all around the east coast of Australia, like Vanuatu,
Gold Coast and everything?
Fiji, like I'm talking about the other countries.
Oh,
like New Zealand, Vanuatu, like as far as Hawaii,
Mm.
like all these cruise ships, like they just go like everywhere globally.
Oh, so you, because I know you do cruise ships as well. Pretty much that's a theme of all the comics in Australia. Like
Not
Ashley does it
just
and
Australia.
Joe.
Like so
Well, yeah.
a lot of the comedians back in the day as well, like cruise ships was the way to get in, that or working at the airport.
Airport.
Yeah, because
Doing what?
like handling bags, or because you get flight passes.
Comedians were doing this?
Yeah, Michael Blackson, fucking Kevin Hart, like
Really?
yeah, because you get the flight passes. So like what you would do?
Oh,
is,
smart.
So you'd be able to go to LA for fucking $35.
Oh, shit.
And go, yeah, exactly. So like you just got to figure that out, and then you can make it happen, because
smart.
like, comedy doesn't pay until you
Make
until
something.
you
Yeah.
make it pay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That sounded violent as hell. Like, comedy don't pay until you make it pay.
Sounds like a fucking slave owner.
Yeah, it sounds like something Mr. T would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like cruise ships is like the mining of comedy.
In what way?
So like if you wanna, like in Australia, if you work in like construction, like doing like putting up scaffolding or like building and demolition, if you want to make more money outside of the city, you go to the mines. So like
Right.
yeah, doing like mining work.
FIFO.
FIFO, yeah, exactly. So,
FIFO?
so that's what cruise ships is for comedians.
That's the FIFO for
That's the
comedians.
FIFO for comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a paid vacation.
Right, it is.
You work like half an hour a day.
Yeah.
For
For a week.
triple the price.
Yeah.
And then you come back super relaxed. After,
Right.
Yeah. And you can just get off. You can have them go put you where you want to go do your next.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
You
if
can choose?
Yeah. So if I want to, if I've got a Brisbane run that I want to set up, like let's say first week of August, and I've got a Sydney run, like a New Zealand run that finishes in Sydney, I can be like, hey, fly me to Brisbane instead of home, and fly me out of Brisbane for my next cruise ship run.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean,
Like the cruise ships themselves will pay for that.
yeah, of course. Like,
Wow.
they have to fly you to and from. So, so you just ask them where it is you want them to fly you to. So if I want to go to New Zealand, but my run finishes in Sydney, I'll be like, hey, my return flight will be to New Zealand.
Oh.
So they'll fly me to New Zealand, and I can do my comedy run there. So you're pretty much just cutting out the airfares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're saving a lot of money and you're making
exactly. Or if you've got a cruise ship that finishes in Sydney, in New Zealand, you can just be like, my next one starts a week later. Fly me from New Zealand back to Sydney to start my next run. So you stay in New Zealand for a week. You know
That's
what I mean?
dope.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Shit,
just finding a way to make it happen, right? So
That's so fun, man. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite things.
yeah, exactly.
Just
Like,
being able to travel like that and fucking.
you got to be a mechanic. You got to be able to like problem solve and fix stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just design your life the way you want it.
100%, man.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite cruise ship to go on?
The Splendor.
Splendor?
The Splendor, yeah.
What's that?
That's it's a Australia based one, but it goes to like New Zealand, Vanuatu, Fiji, like all around there.
I've never heard of Vanuatu. What? When?
Vanuatu.
Vanuatu? What is that?
So there's like a part of, like, I don't know where in history this happened, but to the right of Australia, where Fiji, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, Papua New Guinea, they're all Africans, bro. It's like the Caribbean.
Of Africa.
Yeah, but something happened in history that brought them over there, and now they live there. You know what I mean? Like,
Use the globe, baby.
how convenient. So here's Africa, right? There's Africa, right here.
Yeah.
Something happened in history that brought those people right here,
Outside of Australia.
outside of Australia.
In the middle of the.
So all of this, if you look up the nationalities, they're all Africans. Features like
Yeah.
like they still cornrows in
Cornrows,
their hair,
afro.
like they're still like
His teeth.
like you're still like
Let me just did that.
Yeah,
It's just the thing.
they're all Africans, bro.
Yeah, people who live there just all day,
Yeah,
you know?
man.
It's-
Like so I don't know what the history of that is, but like all of this, like if you put a blindfold on someone and you flew them there, you'd be like, what part of Africa am I in right now?
oh, wow. It's that
Because-
many African people.
That
It's
only
all
like
Africans.
New Caledonia and Fiji is where you see where they have more of. You could confuse them for like Montreal.
Montreal.
Like so, New Caledonia
Yeah.
is a French
Colony, yeah.
colony.
Yeah.
So they speak French. So the closest thing to what Montreal is that place.
New Caledonia.
Yeah, because they've got half black, half French, the white French, the black, like the pure
Say
black
word.
ones. Like they've got that mixture right there. Like that's the closest thing to Montreal that I have gathered from my travels. Like
Damn.
they're speaking fluent fucking like French,
Yeah.
and they still exchanging the French franc, that's super weird. Like France
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
do it.
Right.
France uses the euro. Why are you still using the
Yeah,
French
francs.
franc?
Who uses francs?
The African countries that were colonized by France.
Which other colonies are African countries are colonized by France?
By France?
That use the francs, I guess.
So Morocco?
Morocco uses francs?
No, not Morocco. Sorry.
Well, I know Morocco, they speak French too, but I don't know if they also have Africans. Well, they are African, but
They all use all the French colonies in Africa.
yeah.
Still use the French francs, bro.
Oh, shit, word.
it's-
Fucking Ivory Coast?
Yeah.
Cote d'Ivoire?
So any of them? Angola? Was that French?
I don't know about that, but
Can you name the French colonies in Africa?
yeah, that's very. I want to know, but I want to know this shit.
They all still trade in French francs.
Fiji's black Africans as well.
Yeah, bro.
I thought they were like Samoans or like
Nah,
fucking
black Africans, but they've got mixture. They've got some Indians that came in there.
Oh, shit.
They've got like the mixtures from when the British came.
There's some Middle Easterns there too. Actually, my dad actually knows someone who lives in Fiji. That's
Fiji's
Persian.
So beautiful, man. Like the water's clear as fuck.
Of course, yeah. That water that I keep drinking in
that's
Fiji.
my favorite water, man.
Bro, I want to drink it from the actual island.
Yeah,
how
man.
sick would that
Dude,
be?
man. As soon as you get on the beach.
Have you been to Fiji?
Yeah. I've been to Fiji.
You've been there.
I've been to Fiji a couple times.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Is it actually really beautiful there?
It's so beautiful, bro.
How does the water taste? What's
it's the same water, like
it's the actual Fiji water.
Yeah, like the Fiji water is like the Ferrari of waters. Bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm so jealous. I love Ferrari water.
I just typed in French colonies in Africa,
Uh-huh.
and it says like French Africa, the following countries: Cameroon, Chad, Guinea,
Mauritius.
Ivory Coast, Senegal, Algeria, French Sudan. I don't know if that's a country.
French
but
Sudan.
Madagascar, Niger, Mauritania, Nigeria, and Tunisia.
Nigeria.
So the ones that still. So this is the craziest thing, right? Like, so France still has a stronghold in Africa.
Well, France is pretty much Africa right now.
Yeah, but they still get royalties from Africa.
What do you mean they get royalties?
So pretty much, right? So the Africans have to ask France for permission to print more money. So whenever they need more money printed, they'll be like, "Hey, France, we're running out. Can you print this off?" And France can say yes or no. France also, the Africans, like if they've got like a harvest coming through, they'll be like, "Hey, we've got this sugarcane harvest. Would you like it?" Because I have to ask the French first, and the French can be like, "Yeah, I will buy it," or they can say no. But then also the Africans can be like, "Can I sell it to China?" Because China's interested. France can say, "No, you cannot sell it to China."
Oh, because they have the last say.
They get the last say of it, man. France has got a stronghold in Africa. Like they control Africa. Like the Haitian people just finished paying off. Like they might still be paying it off. Actually, they're fined for revolting against them to end slavery. Yeah.
What?
So France lost
Haiti? Haiti's in the islands.
Yeah, so Haiti.
So it's not even African.
That's so Haiti, which is over here near the States.
Yeah.
So Haiti fought France off for the independence. The revolution was started by the Haitians.
Right.
France was so upset that they gave the Haitian people a fine for loss of income, for getting their freedom back. To this very day, they were still paying that fine back.
What?
Yeah. Why do you think Haiti is so poor? Haiti was the richest country in the world, bro.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, but because they were forced into debt to have to pay back for the revolution that they started.
Damn.
Like for revolting and saying, "Hey, we want to be free. Give us our freedom." And they killed the slave masters. They were given a fine for that.
Wow.
For fighting for their independence.
France is just troublemakers.
Yeah, man. Like that's why you can't take them seriously when
France is bullies,
you can't take any of these people seriously. Man.
France got a hold on everybody.
So whenever you hear them say, "Oh, what Russia's doing is wrong," it's like, shut up.
Yeah, how about over here?
Yeah, you still got Africa in a vice grip, you stupid muppet.
Russia's child's play.
Your word don't mean shit.
Yeah. That's interesting. How do you know so much about history?
Because because of past history that we have. Like I like to be able to talk about it. Like,
that you have? What do you mean? Like that your family does, or
no,
just where you're from?
So people often ask why Africans they've had enough time to adapt and gain their own wealth for themselves, and you're like, yo, you got to find a way to be able to explain to them. Like, you start off at second base. Like, people always say, "Oh, you come to Australia, you're not taking advantage of. It's such a great opportunity." It's like, you don't get a cookie for letting me in a country that I only came to because you fucked up my country. No, but that was the British. This is a British colony. Yeah. This was funded by the money that was stolen out of my country. So you can't tell me to be grateful for a situation you created for me that resulted in me having to flee my country based on what your colony had done. You know what I mean? So you have to read up on stuff like that so you can be able to better educate and understand that you're not doing me a favor. Thank you, but you're not doing me a favor because I wouldn't be in this position. I would love to be in my own country.
In South Sudan.
Yeah, but my country was in shambles because you occupied it for the longest. And then you used that money to fund this venture here, which has brought me to this country. So
interesting. You almost have to know about stuff.
You be grateful that you're here.
Right.
We're both minorities, motherfucker.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
So is that why you're interested in history? And
I just find it fascinating, man. Like I like trying to find out what brought certain people to certain areas, and like because like knowledge is power, right?
Of course.
And I don't know much, but like I try to better educate myself in understanding. Like you can see the indigenous people on the street sometimes, like whether it's in Canada or like in Australia, straight based on knowing what the history of how they ended up on the streets, you can better understand and empathize with them. Yeah, you know what I mean, I can better understand and empathize with the Canadian indigenous, the Australian indigenous, because I understand what happened here. But you can't if you just like, oh, they're just drunks. But why? Why is there no dad in the house? Why is the family's broken apart? Why is it that they don't have a nuclear home? Like because you've ensured that it wasn't possible by giving them like why are you not giving everyone free education that is in a shit position because of your past experiences? Imagine if all indigenous people were given free education and it was mandatory for them to finish high school. Like you'd get better businessmen, better people that knew about sexual education. You know self-worth. You know that there's things such as therapists now. Like if you need therapy, these are the people you can get that from instead of within the bottle. Like self-education, right? Like I've seen a therapist like during like tough times. If your car's fucked up, you take it to a mechanic, right? So if your head's fucked up, why don't you take it to a head mechanic?
It's a good fucking point.
Yeah.
I like that.
Colin, he's done.
Therapy. Gatorade.
He's on the spectrum, man.
He does need therapy.
Colin's on the spectrum.
Nah, you're speaking facts, bro. I agree with that. They didn't want to see us win. Who, bro? Who's they, bro?
Yeah. I don't know why he's never spoken out.
About what?
About what's happening with these people right now.
Oh, in Palestine?
Yeah, that's about to drop. Yeah.
Do you think he should?
100%, man. Like
why?
Because he's one of the most powerful voices not only in the Middle East but also like in the world. Like through his music and his advocacy, he should be able to. You can't take money from the less fortunate, who are the people that buy your music. And then when something happens, especially to your people, like he prides himself of being the son of a shoesmith, Palestinian shoesmith. I'm a Palestinian. I'm from this tribe. Like, and this is happening to your people. At the very least, you should be speaking up for your people. You know what I mean? Like, money is not everything. Like, there is good money and bad money. If you're worried about ruining your future ventures, then at what cost? You know what I mean? Like that's what I think. Like we should be able to definitively say killing babies and innocent civilians is wrong. Because if we start normalizing that, what's to stop that from happening to your country or the next country? If we can't collectively see, like we spoke out for Ukraine, didn't we? As soon as Russia invaded Ukraine, everyone, hey, one man's greed, and everyone sent money immediately.
Right.
But now it's like, nah.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's well, I feel like there's a lot at play for someone who's that massive too.
What do you mean?
Like I'm thinking because he's so big, like such a big celebrity, don't you think he has to think about like certain things to talk about or not talk about, you know? Like cuz it has implications.
Yeah, implications, but are you worried about the bag?
Yeah, I don't know, because we don't really know what's going on. Well, we don't know. I don't know what's going on at all, to be honest. So any of these.
What we do know is Palestine is being leveled indiscriminately, and the people that are suffering the most, I think the body count is at 30 right now, like 30,000 plus, and most of those are women and children. We know for a fact that those are women and innocent women and children. Who had nothing to do with whatever's going on. So if we can't be like, killing babies is wrong, killing innocent people is wrong, then where do we draw the line for the next So what happens next time when America wants to go to Mexico because the cartel is flooding drugs into America? Does that allow them to now bomb Mexico to stop the cartel? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can you now just level Mexico because we got to get these 60 people or whatever the amount of people that you're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's humanity? That's what I'm thinking. Like that's my whole thing.
Right.
Because my country had the longest civil war, 50 years, right? 5 million people died. Nobody came to our rescue. Nobody came. But when we saw everyone venture out and help Ukraine, because we knew, Russia, what are you doing? This is not your territory. We knew that. We knew that for a fact. Everyone sent money there because we knew for a fact that's wrong. But now we're seeing kids getting amputated with no anesthesia, like mothers, whole family bloodlines being wiped out. If we can't definitively say this is wrong, then I think our moral compass is it has to be questioned.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, we should be able to say killing babies and babies having to get their arms amputated with no anesthesia is wrong. Mm-hmm. We can't be on the same playing field for that.
For sure.
Then I think maybe we're not the same human race that I was fooled to believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Obviously, I feel like all that shit's wrong too. And
the
thing is, I'm not oblivious to what I know. All I know is obviously at the very basic. Yeah. You know, human lives are being taken, right? Yeah. Which is always terrible anytime.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just about this. It's like in general, you know, like there's shit happening every day in the world, right?
Exactly.
And, you know, but obviously this has been the big thing that's been happening over the past few months, but really over like a century of, right? So it's like such a difficult topic. And I feel like because we were mentioning DJ Khaled, like someone like him who has such a big following, like I'm just genuinely curious what you think, but why do you think people care so much about someone like him speaking out about something like this, such a serious event happening?
Okay, so for one, The Weeknd.
The Weeknd?
The Weeknd.
Like the artist?
Canadian singer.
Yeah, Ethiopian guy.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
He sent $4 million
to what?
To Palestine to help with aid.
Okay.
Like
sure.
That's he knows.
Yeah.
These people, they're eating grass for dinner.
Oh no, it's fucked.
You know what I mean? They're eating grass for dinner.
I know, it's crazy.
So he's sent $4 million.
Yeah.
At the detriment of maybe his label or people saying, I mean, like people have lost their jobs for speaking out about it.
Yeah.
But he knows because he's also from that environment. He grew up in Ethiopia. Like he's got his Ethiopian roots where he knows what it's like to be defenseless and be like, hey, we're dying here. Like, why isn't anyone helping? Like that type of situation. So when we could see South Africa being in the forefront and saying, hey, stop immediately. If you look globally right now, right? You see there's protesters everywhere. Like whole countries are getting shut down. You can see the Palestinian flag being flown. But the reflection of that, you hear the world leaders, no, we stand by Israel's the right to defend themselves. That's the government speaking for the people. But the people out on the street saying, yo, stop this immediately. So who's we then? Because now the government's letting us know that, no, we are speaking for us, not for you. Because if you were speaking for the people, you would see that the people are out there on the front line saying, hey, stop this immediately. We're seeing images of babies and women and whole family bloodlines being wiped out clean. This is what we consider a genocide and this is disgusting. Let's stop immediately.
Right.
We're not saying we consent to what happened on this October 7th. We're saying the way you're going about it right now is wrong. You're killing innocent women and children. That you wrote the book, the Art of War. Like what?
Who did?
Like Australia and all those superpowers. Like when they wrote what the rules of engagement, what you're allowed to do during war, like what's considered a war crime. You know what I mean? So for them to go against what the rules that they wrote now says this is only valid if yous are doing it.
Oh, okay. It's like it's one-sided.
Exactly. Like, because if we're doing it, it's fine.
Right.
But if you do it, we're gonna give you sanctions and
Yeah.
like we're gonna cut like your funding and like everything. Like, so it has to be across the board. We have to know that wrong is wrong and right is right.
Right.
And right now, what is wrong is killing babies and innocent women. So let's be on the same playing field right now and understand that this needs to stop. Like, why is it that things are only just now they're parachuting food down? Because the roads were getting blocked and they were refusing to bring in like medical supplies, things that would help with aid and actually put food and milk in the bellies of kids that are starving, eating grass like animals, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we just have to know where the line is, and we have to collectively as the people, we need to be able to say this is where the line is, and you should be able to say no, stop.
Right. But you think like, just because we were talking about at the beginning, but you think like someone like DJ Khaled, because everyone's always, even like when I do impersonations of him, people are always like, oh man, he's a piece of shit, he's this and that, because he didn't speak up on his people, stuff, right? But I'm like, what different? I'm just genuinely curious, what difference does it make if he posts about something like that?
What difference does it make? So
like, what's gonna happen if he posts about it? Like, what? Like, does it change things?
I'm a nobody, right? I'm a nobody. But
we all are, yeah.
But I do speak up about what's happening in Palestine and Israel. For sure. The amount of people that have now gone out and gotten more information based on hearing it from seeing me on my timeline, they've gone out to go self-educate themselves now. You've got a bigger platform. So you speak out and say, yo, my people are dying. Please help call for a ceasefire so we can at least get people out of the city and like these women and children. And that's letting people that have got their blinders on that are too, not too self-centered. Like people that are like, yo, no, I don't want to see dead babies.
Just kind of ignorant.
But we have to hold society's mirror into existence. So people can know that this is what's happening. This is how apartheid was stopped in South Africa.
How?
By everyone speaking out.
But this was obviously way before social media. So
yes, but apartheid only stopped because it was held up into the World Forum where you could see how black people were being treated in their own land. Mm-hmm. They only stopped apartheid because of it being put out into the world front.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until then, black people were told you can't even come in this area in your own country.
I know.
And only then, when people spoke out, did that come into existence to the point where change had to be made.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So you think like the more people like DJ Khaled and people who have that influence, the more they speak up, like it'll actually solve the problem? Or
I know so. So say for example, right, Neema, your videos only make so much traction because you post it and people reshare.
Yeah.
You gain a greater audience based on, like, say for example, someone the person you met in the elevator earlier.
Yeah.
They go look you up and then they share your stuff.
Yeah.
Now people in this building who are their friends on social media now know of you.
Okay.
That word has gone out based on just that one experience. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So sharing that information allows other people to be in tune with what's actually happening in the real world.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but like, because people always, especially these days with social media and, you know, people who have influence online and all these big followings, I feel like it's become a thing where people expect people who have these followings to speak out about like political issues or serious events that happen in the world. Whereas I'm like, well, why isn't the news fucking covering this shit, right?
Yeah.
More or like,
and to be honest with you, like you cannot be angry at someone for not speaking out because you're like, hey, that's your life. Like,
right?
Do you? You know what I mean? Do you? But as a society, and if you are reaping the benefits, like say for example, if DJ Khaled's revenues that he gets from when he drops a sneaker, let's say 20% of that comes from the Palestinians from across the world. Because they're like, hey, that's one of our very own. He's lost them now for not speaking out. Those are the people that supported your career. Mm-hmm. You've lost them now. So like being at risk of losing your investors are not the only people you need to worry about. You need to worry about your people that have supported you from day one as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're the reason why you got this big flash house that you're living in. They're the reason why that they keep rocking with you no matter how wrong or right you are. They're like, hey, no, that's not the Khaled we know.
Right.
That's our guy. We're gonna rock with him regardless.
Yeah.
But now it's like, hey, no, just none of my business. Don't worry about it. No, got the new Drake vocals. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people, like your people are dying and getting massacred
Right.
in numbers, and you're saying nothing. Like
Right.
you're letting it be known that this is me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And do you think like, I mean, because we don't have context on his life either. Like, do you think there's something behind him that like is telling him not to say something? You know, it's like, because I know a lot of people are you know in that position are there's someone above them that's like running things.
Yeah,
like, yo, this is like
100%.
if you do this, then like we're gonna take away your money. And, you know what I'm saying?
100%. Like a lot of like Hollywood actors have lost roles and stuff for speaking out.
It's wild.
Yeah, that's wild. But if you, DJ Khaled, a Palestinian, has Palestinian children, decide that this money is far greater than my self-worth and self-respect and my love for my people, then you've sold yourself. You know what I mean? Like you've sold yourself, because instead of doing the righteous thing, you've let, like if money is always going to be your main objective, you can make money 99 different ways, but your soul, you can never, like you shouldn't put a price on it. You can't
have that one.
Yeah, you only have the one.
Just lost in the sauce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We went in there deep, didn't we?
Damn, shit. I mean, we had, you know, sometimes that's why it's good to, you know, do podcasts, because of like this reason, you know. And I'm genuinely trying to learn too, because I don't know much about politics at all. Like I'm not, like it's not like I'm ignorant to it. It's just it was never something that I grew up kind of like being a part of.
The light stopped blinking.
No, that's just like it switches the camera angle. Yeah. When it's red on the camera, that means it's on the person. Yeah. But so it's funny because my dad is very political.
Okay.
Like, and he's, you know, even his dad, like my grandfather, like back home in Iran too, like he was a journalist, and like, you know, like he was pretty much against the government in a way back home, and like there's repercussions for when you're against a certain government, right?
100%, bro.
And like put in the jail, torture, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
even career wise, I often think like, what are the repercussions of like this for me?
Yeah.
Like, will I lose certain opportunities? Will this resurface? Like, but I think as long as you're telling the truth and like you're coming from a good place and like you're speaking out for what you believe is right, the people that rock with you always rock with you, right? So
that's facts.
Yeah. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. So if I'm gonna lose someone that thinks it's fine to kill babies and innocent women, then perhaps you're not the type of person that's gonna like my stuff that I talk about anyway. We've just filtered it down.
Yeah. No, it's fair. Yeah. You have to talk about what you know, what you're interested in.
Yeah.
And what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And you can't please everyone anyway.
Like it just for me, because I grew up in an environment of having to flee war.
Right. So you have more context
from birth.
Right.
Like I was born in this. I was born in this situation where our food used to be parachuted down by the UN. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We lived in a hut. We lived out in the cold. We fled from one country to another with the risk of lions, hyenas, and leopards, like possibly eating us, and like baboons. You know what I mean? Where we had to eat a zebra to survive out, like crossing between countries. Like these are my circumstances. So now when you're seeing it happen to another, we're the human race, right? You see it happen to your fellow human being. And your fellow human beings, what's doing that? Yeah. All we're saying is, yo, let's pump the brakes for a minute here. Let's get some of these innocent people out of here, because what you're doing is not killing the right people. Like, you know the saying, murder is not murder when you're at war?
No, never heard of it.
Like when you're at war and you kill someone, that's not murder. Like you're just at war. Like
when you murder someone, it's not murder?
So if I killed you right now in your apartment, that's what they call murder.
Right.
But if you kill someone while you're on the battlefield, that's not murder.
Oh, right.
So murder's not murder when you're at war.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So they're still seeing this as
a war.
Yeah, we're at war, but
But you don't think it is?
There is a war going on, but the people that you're killing are not.
It's not. They're not a part of the war.
They're not the soldiers. Like,
right.
Show us the uniform that they're wearing. Like what did this like 9-month-old baby do? True. To you know what I mean? Like one or two mistakes, there's always going to be civilians casualties when it comes to war. But if you've killed more civilians than you have the people that you're targeting, maybe we need to reanalyze how to handle this. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, what's to stop it from happening to the next country? If we can't collectively be like, hey, these are the rules that you wrote. These like it's what you call a war crime.
Right.
You're doing it right now. Cut it out. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we have to be able to point that out. Otherwise, it's just gonna happen over and over. You know what I
It's
mean?
never gonna stop.
Like when they went to Iraq, remember?
Who?
When America went to Iraq,
Right. Yeah.
And
That was
Afghanistan?
wild,
they are now saying, okay, he didn't have weapons of mass destruction.
yeah. Okay.
But what about all the people you killed now? On the strength of that,
Yeah.
it was just a sorry. Like there's no penalties that came with
I
it.
know. Yeah.
Like-
Because it was under the basis of war.
Yeah, like, but they've admitted now that there was no weapons. Like the basis of going to Iraq
Yeah.
was Saddam Hussein has got weapons of mass destruction. We have to go over there and stop him with his weapons of mass destruction.
Right.
They've now since come forward and said no, they did not have weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so what do we do about the time? You can't take back what you've done. What you can do is highlight the fact that let's not do this again, and it is happening again right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever? Is it a thing in South Sudan to have to do military?
So when
If you're
the
a male, or
so when the war broke out, a lot of the young ones were kidnapped by the government
in South Sudan?
in Sudan.
Yeah.
And they were given weapons and forcefully trained. They call them lost boys.
Lost boys.
Yeah, the lost boys. Yeah.
Why?
So they snatched a bunch of the kids. If you're old enough to hold a gun, you were snatched up, taken into
That's fucked up.
training program. Yeah, they're like, we need everybody.
That's common in like a lot of African countries too, where they get kids as soldiers, right?
Yeah.
It still happens to this day.
Well, it doesn't happen to this very day because, it happens in certain countries.
Certain
this
countries,
Yeah.
but not as much as before.
Not as much as before, no. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is a thing that's happened.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, would you have had to be in the army or like the military if you were still there? Because you're still young. You're still like how old are you right now?
If I was there,
Yeah.
but I wasn't there. I was born in Ethiopia, and
Oh right. So you would. What if it was Ethiopia then?
so by the time I got to Kenya, I was 8 years old. So,
Okay.
so any of those ages that I was not old enough to be in the army.
But I'm saying if you were there now though,
If I was there now,
like growing up, you would have to do it, right? Is it mandatory?
I'm not sure if it is.
Because it is in Iran, like
Yeah.
But like I wasn't born there, so I wouldn't have to do it. But like my brother was born there.
I'm not sure if it's mandatory. Like I'll definitely look
Yeah,
it up.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot of people have served in the military.
Wow.
You have to do like a required amount.
Yeah.
To be able to handle weapons
Yeah.
and like whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. How that's still a
Nuts.
thing these days.
Yeah, man. Because the world's so volatile, man.
Yeah.
The world's on the edge. Like anything can happen. Like look right now, China, Taiwan. Any moment
Oh, yeah.
that could spark off.
I know.
Russia, Ukraine. We're acting like that's over. That's happening as we speak.
Yeah.
The only reason why it hasn't been getting on the forefront is because Israel-Palestine conflict.
Right.
While that's happening, Sudan's got like North Sudan is at war with itself.
Right.
Like the Sudan that we split from
Yeah.
is at war with itself right now.
That's wild.
The Congo at war. Like there's so many different
Yeah.
factions of
I
war
know.
going on right now.
Even in our country too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think government versus people and stuff.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
do you think because people always say, oh, like the world has gone to shit these days. Everything's fucked up. But I'm like,
that's the world we've been in.
that's what I'm saying. Because I think it's because of social media.
Yeah.
Because social media, you're seeing things way more often,
Yeah.
way faster, way more than before.
Yeah.
Before social media came around. But I'm like, shit's always been like this. It's just you're just seeing it more now.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, yeah. Like when I was explaining the Israel-Palestine thing to my girl, she's like, "Oh my God, how long has this been going on for?" I said, "Forever."
It is forever. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, "No, I refuse to believe this is the world that we live in." I said, "But that is though. That's the world we live in."
Mm-hmm.
And she's now more observant of what's going on. Like she knows that what's happening. She knew all along about Russia, Ukraine, but she now knows that the Congo is going through their own thing with the lithium.
No cobalt mining?
Yeah. Same with Sudan. It's at war with itself. The Palestine, Israel. Like she knows right down to the figures of the people, like amount of people who've been killed. You know what I mean? But this, once again, this is what I was saying. Without sharing that information, the next person might not be aware of it.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean?
So you're saying it's actually better nowadays that
Yeah, like
there is all this information overload?
we are the information. So if you see something, you can say something, but it's on the recipient of that information to fact check it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm like, hey, Neema, did you know that they're giving out free bracelets at Culture Kings today? You could either take that information and be like, oh, I know a scam when I hear it, or as soon as I leave, you could call Culture Kings and be like, hey, what's this I hear that you're giving out free bracelets?
Right. Yeah. It's
You know what I
much
mean?
more accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got the information. It's up to you what you do with it now.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Damn, bro. I mean, that's why I feel like I'm so grateful that we do what we do,
Yeah.
because in this world of sadness
Yeah.
and shit, just every day there's something.
Yeah. Exactly. Like,
It's our role more than ever
exactly.
to provide joy, at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then every time I hear stuff like this, every time I listen to, people talk about whatever's going on in the world that's like devastating and, just breaks your heart. You're like, every time I hear stuff like this, I'm like, wow, I've never been more grateful.
Consider yourself lucky.
Well, very lucky, but also so grateful to be in the position I am to even provide this entertainment to people.
Exactly.
On stage, on camera, social media, right?
Yeah.
And
Because you're the difference between do I go home and my pillows are filled with tears, or do I go home and be like, that Neema knows how to cheer my day up.
right.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's why anyone that's in our position as comedians, actors, entertainers, I feel like we're needed more than ever.
For sure.
Just as because all this information has become so accessible with bad news.
Yeah.
Like the good stuff needs to be put out just as much.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%, man. Because we can have our blinkers on, or self-awareness is the best thing that we've been given as human beings. To be self-aware, like right now, you're aware that this camera is there, that camera is there. You also know that you got a fireplace. If you left the gas on, and that candle that you got on right there could potentially blow up this house. That's self-awareness. That's being aware of your surroundings. So also being aware of your surroundings when something is happening within your neighboring countries or within your neighboring communities. Say, for example, if you're like a show producer, right? Being self-aware of certain things will let you know this act and that act cannot be on the same show today.
True.
Yeah, that's self-awareness. You know what I mean?
It's knowing your business. Knowing,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's self-awareness. So like, being self-aware allows us to know that, I'm not going to say my abortion joke tonight at this women's rally. You know what I mean? That's self-awareness. I don't have an abortion joke, but like, you know what I mean? That's self-awareness, knowing that this is not the area for this.
They're not going to like this particular joke.
Yeah. So
what's your favorite part about performing?
my favorite part about performing is being able to touch, tap into, into someone's soul. You know what I mean? Like being able to share that story where someone can be like, I get it now. You know what I mean? No, like I consider my comedy as a newspaper letter, and I'm presenting it with my voice in front of you. So I'm just reading out of my newspaper of my life and my experiences and sharing it with you with my voice. Mm-hmm. How you receive it is entirely up to you. But now you've got that information.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if you can walk away with something, kudos.
You've done your job.
I've done my job. Whether it's negative or positive. Mm. If it's negative, that's fine. You can go home and be like, what's this Sudan longest civil war? Oh wow, he's not lying about that.
Right.
The Sudanese, also known as the Nubians, the original pharaohs. You go down a rabbit hole based on information now.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's good. Yeah.
Like, so that's like just sharing that. It's entertainment in its own. You know
it is.
Yeah.
100%. It's just more knowledge.
Yeah.
Which is well needed. It's never a bad thing to get more and more.
Exactly.
It's like if
my job is to make you smile and not cry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I've cried a few times just by watching you two, man. No, tears of joy. Tears of joy.
Yeah. So like I don't get any enjoyment from upsetting anyone.
Right, of course.
You know what I mean?
Well, you wouldn't do this job if you did.
Yeah, like my job is to make you happy.
Of course.
And sometimes I have to say the hardest things while I'm up there.
Yeah, of course.
And in some cases, it might make you feel sad, but through that laughter, we can now talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Overall, you're aiming for that good feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's true though. You can control how you feel about things, but you can't control how other people feel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why that's in a way our job.
Yeah.
We're good at doing that.
Yeah.
At creating that feeling.
Create the environment
out of that person.
Yeah, so you create that environment.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can do that perhaps in front of, whether it's in front of an audience of 100 or 200, 500, or even 12 people.
Yeah. Being
able to collectively bring people together in that joyous moment is a gift in itself. Like there's a sense of reward that comes with that. Like, oh wow, like we're really happy today. Mm-hmm. Like that's your reward. Yeah. Plus a little bit of that money that you get paid from the tickets.
Sure. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad day.
But the reward is knowing that you've spread that joy. Right. Like I had a woman at one of my shows actually. She was in a mixed race relationship and has a son that was 17 years old, but he had an identity crisis. He doesn't know whether he was black, doesn't know whether he was white. She came up to me after the show. She goes, "Oh my God, I'm going to bring my son to one of your shows. I think you're just what he needs." Like he's been so depressed and he doesn't know where he fit in because he's got an African father and I'm his mother. And she brought him to my show the following year at Fringe, and I took a picture with him as well. And like I couldn't have been more happier. I was watching him pretty much like take class. Wow. Like he's just happy and proud to see what is essentially half of himself. Right. But speaking for both sides. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I get a rush from that. Yeah. Knowing that I've touched someone in that sort of sense.
That's the best feeling. Well, that's the point though. It's like, it's not just about the laughs, it's about connection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go. That's a better word. Connection. Yeah. I kept saying touch. That's why I said touch. I was like,
hey, what you thinking about, bro?
I just had R. Kelly in my head, just like, touching a stove.
I need some touch, man. Deprived of touch. What would you say is the worst, off the top of your head, what's the worst experience you've had on stage in your career of comedy?
The worst? The worst is always the best.
Why?
When you go up on stage, you get that humbling, that humble performance.
The bomb.
Yeah, like because I've said this so many times. Like I'm a firm believer that at least once every 3 months or so you have to bomb.
Yeah, more than that sometimes.
Yeah, because that is you
learning,
pushing that line. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when a new joke gets reintroduced, there's always going to be that uncomfortableness where you're going to have to try out a couple of times to feed that spoon in a way people can stomach. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like that is like I get a rush, but also a sense of like pick your game up from that.
You have to. If you're not, then you're not self-aware.
Yeah, exactly.
And self-awareness is the key for comedians.
Exactly. And I feel like as a comic, you should be able to speak about anything. Yeah. So right now, I don't speak about everything. Why? Because I don't have the tools. Okay. I don't quite have the tools yet. But every single year, I get better and better.
How do you gain more tools?
More tools, more experience, knowing where and when to switch gears. Reading the room is a big one. Like, so if you got to speak about some real shit, you probably want to put it towards past the halfway mark, because you gotta win them over first and let them know what you're about, right? Like, hey, love me, and then like, all right, yo, we got to talk about this, and then you got to give it to them, in a way that you hope that they can digest, and then. If that doesn't work, you've always got your protective shield, right, of what you're gonna finish on. But sometimes if it's being well received, like I will end on that. Like I will keep going with that until I know that the bit is where it's at, and then you don't have to pull out the emergency blanket.
Right.
Like the fire has been extinguished before it even started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like taking those risks is a big one for me. Like without taking those risks, I think I would be bored.
Yeah. That's the whole point. You have to take the risks.
Yeah.
If you're not taking risks, then what's the point of even doing comedy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We are the risk takers.
Yeah, the original
risk takers.
Evil Knievel. We are Siegfried and Roy.
We are the Wright brothers. Yep.
Yeah, bro. Dead set, man. We're Harris Ford.
Yeah, the Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Harrison Ford. Yeah. Well,
the original crash test dummies.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, bro. Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes when I tank. I'm like,
100%.
yep, I just got murked by a car.
Yeah, but you got to own it, though.
I got run over by an 18-wheeler just now on stage.
Yeah. Like, the last time that happened, I'm due for one, actually. The last time it happened was on a cruise ship.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's
you bombed on a cruise ship?
One of my PG shows.
Oh, it's tough, right? Because you have to be super clean?
Yeah.
Because they're kids, right? There's kids too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Kids, yeah. So I was like,
What happened?
Oh, I just kept on trucking.
How long were you on stage for?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. And when did you notice that you were starting to bomb?
Well, I recovered it, but I started pulling out material
that works well
from
previous.
So I do 5 shows on the cruise ship.
Yeah,
2 PGs and 3 18+.
Okay.
I was pulling out material for other shows
on the 18+ shows in the PG show,
but like the clean stuff,
right?
And adding it to this one. So now I've got empty spots for my 18+ because I've used my reserves to get myself out of, like to bail myself out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now you got to go back to the chalkboard and write more stuff for the material that you've taken from
the
the other one. Yeah.
Wait, why? Is it because there's the same people coming to every show?
Yeah, so all the shows have to, like, they're different.
It's the same show?
Not the same show.
No, I'm saying like the same people come to every show?
We're all stuck on a cruise ship with the same people.
No, I know. I'm saying like, but there's all these people on a cruise ship. They're coming back every night.
But if they loved the show so much,
they're gonna come back again.
They'll come back for your other show.
What? On the span of a few days?
Yeah, man. So like, if you're killing it, like, if you're killing the shows, they mark it in their planner.
Like the people, the audience.
They're like, oh, we gotta go see him again.
And how often do you see the same people at your show on a cruise ship?
Well, you're on board for about 5 to 6 days with them. So like, if you really did well, like, they will come to every one of your shows.
Every single one.
Every single one.
But you're doing the same material on each of them. Each of the shows. No.
There's 5 shows, 5 different shows.
You're doing 5 different 30-minute sets.
Yeah.
Completely different material.
Yeah. So 2 PGs.
What?
2 PGs. Like anyone can come watch that one.
Yeah.
And then 3 18+,
which is like dirty, maybe
dark.
Yeah.
You can,
whatever you want, really.
Whatever you want. Yeah.
And people are okay with it. They like that.
Yeah. Well, that's a safe space.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And how are you coming up with 5 30-minute?
Gotta keep writing, bro.
Sets?
You gotta keep writing.
Yeah, but how are you tightening up all those 30 sets within like a year or whatever? Like,
so like I usually get off the ship and I would observe what the people are doing. So I'd write stuff based on that day as well.
Right.
And because the last year I've been focusing on doing crowd work. So like, that's essentially, you only have to do 20 minutes for each show and 10 minutes of crowd work.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
10 minutes of
you're not
crowd
doing
work.
30-minute material.
No, but you can, but like,
but crowd work adds in. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're always constantly coming up with new material because you're constantly working and sharpening that blade.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah.
Interesting. And so, has there been a scenario where you've absolutely just tanked a whole set on a cruise ship? Like you mentioned you did one time, right?
No, that forced me to whip out stuff from other shows.
Oh, so you didn't, like, the whole time you didn't?
Yeah, well, no, but like the first 15 minutes was not enjoyable.
It was the worst set of my life.
Bro, it wasn't enjoyable. Like,
no one was laughing?
No, they were laughing. It's just like, so you set yourself a standard on what it is that you feel that you will receive.
Yeah.
As compensation for your stories, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't get that, it plays in your psyche to the point where I think you sometimes drown out the sounds that you are hearing because you're just like, oh, I'm losing them.
Yeah.
Try this one, try this one, try this one, try this one. Like, so that's quite humbling because
I know.
It forces you to be like, yo, we better prepare a little bit more tomorrow. Like, let's not just assume everything's going to be A-okay.
Yeah. It is not A-okay right now, bro.
We better get to work.
What's the audience like in cruise ships? Like,
Cruise ships,
like, is it diverse?
There's a mixture. One of the cruises that I did was 30% Americans.
Okay.
Because they fly down to Australia to come do these cruises.
Right, yeah.
So 30% Americans, and then the other 70% was Australians, New Zealanders, Asians, like
just scattered.
Yeah, just different. Yeah, but it was so 30% made the Americans the majority.
Yeah.
Because
70%,
if you start chopping it up into, well, we've got
regions,
we've got some Asians that came on, like
yeah.
Like then like they're the majority. So you then have to, now you're catering to the majority.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because on land you can be like, you can do your Australian stuff.
True.
And they will know when I say Blacktown in Sydney or Footscray in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
They get the local references.
Ipswich in Brisbane. Or if I'm like Cairns, like they know where Cairns is. You know what I mean? Like, but
in France?
Cairns is North Australia, in Queensland.
Oh, there's a Cairns in Australia?
Yeah, Cairns, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so there's a cruise ship dock up there as well.
Okay.
But not all Americans are going to know that.
Right, they're not going to understand. So you have to be more universal on cruise ships.
Yeah, so you got to make sure you cater to the majority.
True.
But also
just do good material overall.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah, so like you're not calling it Dan Murphy's, you're calling it the liquor store.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Very general stuff so everyone can understand.
Yeah. So instead of I went to the bottler the other day. No, I went to the liquor store.
Liquor store. Yeah. I know bottle because I'm a true Aussie braid.
Yeah.
I'm Kane, mate.
Yeah. So like that will help it be received a lot. Because if they're not doing too much
quick maths.
Yeah. I mean, like a bottler. They said Barlow is it's the liquor store. If they're not
right, you have to make it as easy as possible for them to understand as you go.
So they're not doing too much maths.
Yeah, I get it.
And then they're receiving in real time, right?
Right. It's pretty much like what I actually learned a long time ago was starting in stand up too was like it was like a teacher I had when I was in school, like at Humber College. They were teaching a comedy course. It was a 2-year program I was in. And my teacher, shout out Larry Horowitz from Humber. Hopefully he's still alive, but he was always sick. But he always said, make the audience do as little work as possible.
Less is more.
Less is more. But also, like, literally do your bits, do your performance as if this audience is the dumbest people ever.
Explain.
You wanted to make it as
explain to me like I'm stupid.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's dead ass, bro. Like because if they're doing mental gymnastics to try to catch up with you, they're gonna miss the punchlines. They're gonna miss the setups.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
that's the best way.
So for the more articulated brands of storytelling, you can still like tell stuff smart.
Yeah.
But you just gotta like if you're like
you gotta read the room. So
one thing I do when I come over to the States is I own it straight away. I'm like, hey, can you understand me with my crazy Australian accent?
Right. You said, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm letting them know that there's going to be something different about me.
Yeah.
So like,
you're pointing out the elephant in the room.
Yeah. So like, we've already addressed it, but I'm aware of it, and I'm going to try to speak like this so you can better understand what it is that I'm saying instead of, we were just to the bottle the other day, you know?
Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
He looks like us, but he's not like us.
So once I've already addressed it, like I'm putting it in my psyche as well to now speak like this because there's going to be people that are going to have a hard time understanding certain words that I am pronouncing. You know what I mean?
Even in Canada, right? For you, it's I'm sure same thing. Like you go there and you have to adjust, right?
Yeah.
It's very different. Same with me. Like coming here, I'm like, I also have to slow down a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, maybe because I talk fast for them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's stuff like that, right? It's
just little small adjustments.
Little small adjustments, but then like that's what makes you a better comedian, better act, whatever.
Learn to adapt.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm sure Russell Peters does not sound like the way he sounds just in Canada. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
yeah.
especially him. Like he fucking goes all over the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally has been to the most cities in the world performing.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you have to at some point.
Yeah.
Everyone's very different, but very similar. Do you remember your most memorable time on stage?
Probably when I got the golden buzzer.
Oh, really? That was the most memorable.
Yeah, because I was reminded of it.
What do you mean reminded of it?
When it came out, I must have received that many tags. Plus, when it happened in the moment, because I had thought I had messed up my set by running off to get the water.
Right, the water, yeah.
So when I had recovered from that, and then to even go on to get the golden buzzer, like that euphoria, it happened for me in slow motion as the tinsels were falling down.
That's pretty crazy. So the slow motion is real when they play the videos?
Yeah, but it happened in my mind in slow motion. It happened to me in real time.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean? That stuck with me.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, so I still remember that.
Wow. That's so cool, man.
Yeah, and then I took my daughter the second time round for the semifinals.
You brought her to the semifinals.
Yeah, to get to share that with her was also great as well.
Yeah.
I didn't get to spend much time with her because I was filming 12-hour days.
Right.
But we got an hour in, or like 2 hours in, to just be together as like father and daughter. So like we went out for waffles, and that was great. And then it was straight back to work again. You know what I mean?
At least you got that little bit of time though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Luckily, like my sister lives in Sydney, so like I was like, hey, you're gonna be with my sister for most of the time because I'm gonna be filming. And as fun as that sounds, it's not fun. Like you're not gonna enjoy it. But
Why?
Huh?
Why?
She's a little girl. She's gonna be sitting there waiting for.
Oh, like when you're at work.
Yeah.
I thought you meant when she was with your sister.
No, that's fine.
You're gonna hate your time, honey.
she had one day where she was out filming with me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you could see that this is work.
Of course.
Because it wasn't.
It's boring for her.
It's not as exciting as it sounds. You know what I mean?
Of course, it's never.
We're talking about. We're gonna do this scene 7 times. We're gonna get you to change into this outfit.
Yeah.
This person's gonna interview you. You're getting like prostituted around over a span of 12 hours.
Yeah.
And then and ladies and gentlemen, Emo Majok.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And they just hand you the mic. You know what I mean? Like.
I know.
So like learning to adjust and like put that. Showtime.
Yeah. Showtime, baby.
Yeah. Time for the pizzazz.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually wanted to ask how it's been because you have the one daughter, right?
I got 2.
Oh, you have 2.
I got 2 daughters.
I think I met them last time I was in Perth, right?
Yeah. So you met my son and my you met my daughter. You just met the one.
Oh, I think I think your girl at the time was pregnant with the son too, right? Or is your son the youngest one?
No, my son is the second eldest.
Wait, how many kids do you have?
I got 3.
You have 3 kids?
Yeah, 2 daughters and a son.
With the same girl, right?
Yeah. I'm not an NFL player. Not a bowler.
You could be.
Yeah, to my previous relationship.
Right, yeah. And I met her too when I was in Perth last time. Yeah. At the time, it was just your daughter that was alive?
It was just my one daughter, yeah.
Oh, okay. So she was the oldest, and then you had your son?
And then I had my son was a few years later.
And then the next daughter,
my youngest one,
a few years after that,
was 15 months after.
Oh wow! So it was quick after.
Yeah, Irish twins.
Irish twins.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
So the Irish used to have their kids like I could be like 9 months, baby's out, boom,
another one,
brand new one, yeah,
another one,
so, another one, yeah.
Yeah,
that's not quite Irish twins, but that's the same.
Right.
That's what the saying is.
Oh,
when the kids are like. Oh, I'm 10 and I'm 10 too. Like,
okay, yeah, I get it.
One is born January, the other one is born
November, December. Yeah, interesting. Okay, yeah. So you have the 3 daughters.
Yeah.
And how has your life changed from before to now?
Like I know that I have to be mindful about what it is that I'm speaking about. What it is that I'm working towards. You know what I mean? Like as much as I dislike the idea. I am a role model to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Why do you dislike it?
Because I like the freedom of knowing that I'm doing what I want to do. But I also want to spread the positivity out there. But in this climate, you're getting penalized for doing one wrong when you've done 200 great things. You know what I mean? So if you could disattach yourself from getting cancelled for doing one wrong, you would obviously want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you also want to just be like, hey, spread good and happiness in the universe. But you don't want to be like, oh, well, you are my child's hero and can't believe that this is your views. It's like, it was just my views.
Yeah. It's just me.
Just my views.
Yeah.
We're gonna disagree sometimes too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know what kind of messages that I'm sending out. Like I'm aware of it. I'm also like I do need to zip my mouth sometimes in
front of your kids?
No, just in general.
Okay. Just
be like, hey, this is not our fight right now.
Oh wow.
Let's just sit on ice for a second.
Right. What's been like some things that you've almost like passed down to your kids?
To my kids?
Yeah, like something that's like the most important thing to you, I guess.
The importance of culture. Like I always tell my kids, you're Sudanese, Mauritian, Australian born. You know what I mean? Like I want my kids to have pride in my father's Sudanese, my mom's Mauritian, and I was born in Australia. You know what I mean? So like embrace all three, not one more than the other or one less than the other. Like just remember what your heritage is and what your background is, and then know where you're at.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are they close in age now? Like what's the? I know the oldest is the most age gap.
Yeah, it's
and the Irish twins.
Yeah, so my eldest will be 13 in October. My son is 5 turning 6 in May, and my daughter is 4 turning 5 in November.
Right. Are they like close, or do they get along?
Tom and Jerry, bro.
Tom and Jerry?
Yeah. My two youngest ones are Tom and Jerry.
Oh, that's funny.
But they love each other. They love each other. But like they're Tom and Jerry. Like
it's cute, man.
Whenever they're over, like always arguing. But they're the first. They're the first to bat for each other, though.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's beautiful. Like, I've always I've wanted that for my son, like to know that, yeah, you're older than your younger sister and you're younger than your older sister, but there is going to be a time in your age gap where you're going to be the protector. You know what I mean? You are going to be stronger than them at some point. That's just physics.
Yeah, it's biology, baby.
Yeah, that's just biology.
Yeah.
So just like you in a household of just women, your mother, your two sisters. Yeah. Which was my upbringing as well. Like I lived in a household of just women, and there was always going to be there was going to be cases where there's certain things that I had to handle. You know what I mean? Like if my sisters had boy bullies, like I had to like be the fucking knight in shining armor to help that out. Or if like some odd noise happened in the middle of the night, I would have to go investigate that. You know what I mean? So like you just got to remember that. Yeah.
The feminists watching this are probably fuming.
What
do you mean men can only do this?
No one said only men can only do this. Like I'm trying to raise a man. So.
Yeah. Trying to be alpha, you know?
I'm just trying to raise them. I'm trying to raise a man. Just know that your women, your sisters and your mother are gonna count on you from time to time.
Yeah. How would you feel if like maybe your son, when he grows up, he because with everyone these days with identifying as whatever they want, right? Like the gender shit that's going on. Like, how would you feel if your son was like, I don't know who I am. Like, I identify as this, some wild shit. Like, how would you feel about that?
Well, I've never found myself in a shout out Prime.
Yeah. This is what you did on Australia's Got Talent. You just, sorry guys, I gotta go get a drink of water. I'm gonna give you a golden buzzer right now.
I've never found myself in that situation, nor have ever prepared myself for a situation like that. But like my love for my kids is unconditional.
No matter what they think or what they do.
My love for my kids is unconditional. We would work through it as a family. So
That's a good way to look at it.
yeah,
It's very healthy.
yeah. I think not jumping the gun from hearing that information and letting it marinate for a little while.
Yeah.
It's always good.
Mm-hmm.
And then further educating and understanding what that matter, what that looks like, what that means, how that makes him feel. I've never found myself in a position like this, so like I can't otherwise speak for it. But I'm sure there's nothing my family and I can work through. So
that's a good way to look at it, man.
yeah,
It's healthy. All this therapy is just paying off.
I was born in a heterosexual household, like where I was raised to
be straight.
Be a man. This is what a man.
Oh, yeah.
This is what a man does.
Yeah. Traditional values.
Yeah, like the man provides, the man protects. Like if someone broke into our front door, like it's like I'm gonna be in the front line for that.
It's your role.
It's my role because physically I am stronger, not because of anything. I myself am physically stronger than my sisters and my mother.
Of course.
So it was like I always had that in the back of my mind. But I took great pride in that.
As you should.
I take great pride. Like if someone broke into your mother's household, I'm sure you and your brother would be fighting on who would be the first person to protect your mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it'd probably be him, to be honest, because
but
I'm a little bit of a bitch.
But you wouldn't fight over who would have to sit this one out.
No. Like, in that moment, that's the thing, because instinctively, because we've never had any reference to it. You can't answer it, obviously, but I'm sure in the moment, instinctively, like you just like, it's not even a thought.
It's not like, hey, bro, you're stronger, you're bigger. Like, no, like,
yo, you got this one, bro. Or I need to go take a shit. Like,
instinctively, I knew I'm the stronger one in the house. So like and my son is gonna he's gonna be a tall and big boy.
Is he already tall?
Huh?
Is he already tall?
He's already tall. Yeah.
How tall is he?
Taller than what his age is. Like so in his school, like he's
one of the tallest already.
Yeah, not like noticeably
right,
big.
But like he's grown.
Yeah, he's not a small kid.
Nice.
Yeah. Like,
well, because you're fucking tall as shit.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
6'2". Okay.
Yeah, 6'2". Yeah.
Do you think that having kids has changed your comedy too?
Yeah, like I speak oftenly about my kids, because those are my life experiences.
Right.
And like moving around a lot, as a kid, and then now moving around a lot as an adult. Like I try to like we're on FaceTime so much. When I go on tour, like even on the cruise ship, I spend so much money on Wi-Fi on the ship.
Oh, you have to pay for Wi-Fi?
Oh, dude, it's the biggest.
What? Why?
Because they can.
That doesn't make sense. They're flying you to the cruise ships and paying you for the week, but then they won't provide Wi-Fi?
Yeah, so the Wi-Fi is...
That's wild.
It must be expensive because it's in international waters. I mean,
right, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
There's sharks underneath, so it's hard to get a signal.
You know what I mean?
There's whales just waiting.
Oh man, it's a straight jacking.
Yeah.
So just to have like decent Wi-Fi, like so I can talk on WhatsApp and like my kids might want to read a book or something or show me what they just got for what I just sent them for their birthday. Because mom probably went and got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's always important to be able to still stay connected.
Yeah.
So.
How do you focus your time on like your career and then like your own personal health, like personal life, and then also like your kids, you know what I'm saying? Like how do you manage to organize all these things?
You got to learn to love your own time. It's mentally exhausting being on stage every single night and then not allocating a time for just yourself. So like often these Sundays I'll be just like solo dolo. You know what I mean? Like if I'm back home, I'd go to the river. Monday to Wednesdays are usually like when I've got the kids, but because I'm touring so much now, it's on a back to town basis. You know what I mean, but just ensuring that you like I stay connected with like my son's godfather, who's my best friend as well, like my boy Wags. Like
Wags, yeah, I met him.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, so like I'm on FaceTime with him every other day. My boy a cook. I think you might have met him.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, my cousin a cook who lives out here in Melbourne. Like just surround yourself around good people. You know what I mean? Like being out here in Melbourne, I'm never homesick.
That's good.
Because I got such loving like connections and like people that make me feel right at home. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just ensure that this is correct. This is and this is not empty as well, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some real shit.
You got to make sure that your brain and your heart
has to
is always full. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Before anything else.
Yeah.
Because if you're not well, how are you supposed to provide for other people?
Exactly.
How are you supposed to make others well?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially for comedy too. It's like
yeah,
if
man,
you're not doing well, like
for sure, man. Every now and then I switch off too. Like I'll go dark for like 3 days.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's good.
Where I'll let the necessary people know that hey, gonna be in a camper van and gonna switch off. You know what I mean? And then I'll
reset.
Yeah, reset, man.
That's clutch, man.
Come back fucking vibrant.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just banging.
That fucking, I just reset. I just went dark, fucking glow.
Went dark, still dark, coming back.
Look at me.
A little bit less dark now. Yeah.
Glowing.
Yeah. It's like the reverse of like white people going on vacation getting a tan.
Yeah.
You come back lighter. You go dark to come back brighter.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on and love having this chat. It was a good one. And,
yeah, man.
It's good to catch up a little bit too. You know, it's been a while since we actually got to talk a lot. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's all we're gonna do today. Thank you for everyone watching this episode of A Stupid Neema. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, and just remember, everything I said on this was just my opinion.
Yeah, that's all it is,
Don't
man.
penalize me for my opinion. It's just my opinion. I may be wrong, I may be right. But just know it comes from a good place. It was just my opinion. So, yeah.
For anyone, one last thing, I guess, for anyone who's watching who is an aspiring artist, creator, comedian, whatever, what words of advice would you give to this person?
One, stay hungry. Always stay hungry. Don't get too comfortable. When you first start out and you develop that first 5 minutes and you're so happy with it, there's that sense of urge to want to always impress the bookers that you're on the show for, but you also got to remember that you're trying to grow as an artist as well. So like always trying to make sure that you've got your best set can also be detrimental. So just make sure that you're always constantly writing, always keeping yourself vibrant and fresh, because you could write your best joke right now and you get all the bookings, but you'll find out very quickly that by the time that joke runs dry, you're gonna need a new one. So constantly just making sure that you always got new material, keeping yourself vibrant, interesting. That ensures if a person that saw you last week sees you again this week, and you've got like some fresher shit, then they're gonna be inclined to want to see more and more stuff. So just ensure that you can just stay working, stay hungry, and stay true to yourself. That's most important. Stay true to yourself. Try to find that voice. Like one of the hardest things starting up is finding your voice. Try and figure out what it is you want to talk about, because once you know what kind of comic that you are and what message that you want to relay, because you always want to have a message. You know what I mean? Like you just want to be happy. You want to be a happy-go-lucky comedian. That's your message. You're a happy-go-lucky comedian, but you just want to know what kind of voice and what kind of comedian that you want to be. So just find your voice.
Stay locked in, baby.
Yeah, stay locked in.
I like that, man. I love it. Thank you for the elaborate answer too. Some people, they just say one quick line and then leave it at that, but I appreciate you elaborating on that.
No worries.
Yeah. Anyway, you heard it here first. Wise words from Emo, the man himself. I appreciate you guys watching. This has been A Stupid Neema. Please plug anything you have to this camera over there, your socials and any shows or anything coming up.
Yeah, Emo Majok. Emo Majok. EMO. Last name Majok. MAJOK. On all social media platforms. My website is emomajok.com.
Cable came off. The haters, they don't want to see you win, bro.
They don't want to see me win.
DJ Khaled's listening, bro. They didn't believe in us.
You can find me at Emo Majok, EMO, last name Majok, MAJOK, on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Emo Majok. You can follow me anywhere, but just if you see me out on the streets, don't follow me home.
He will follow you.
I'll be behind you. My website's the same as well, emomajok.com, and my link tree. Just find me and you can find out if I'm in your city. I tour around the globe, so I might be in a town near you. See you soon.
Facts. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode of A Stupid Neema. And take care. Have a good day. Peace.
Peace.